Hello, everybody out there.
Hello.
Good day to you,
Hello.
Sensei. How are you?
Good day to you as well,
Oh,
my friend Harold.
man, it's a nice cloudy. I think it's cloudy outside. Sunday afternoon here in Manila. How
We
about?
we had a cold front sweep the U.S. and we got hit by a little bit of it. Not as bad as a lot of places, but definitely hit us too,
Oh, wow.
to say the least. Yeah.
So are
Uh,
you guys don't have to? You're not buried in snow or anything though, right?
no, it definitely.
Okay.
So it was like around 50 to 60 degrees here, and then like literally the next day just shot down to like 20. So it's just like just all instant cold, and it did snow.
Ooh.
Nothing like crazy, like nothing stuck or anything, but it definitely was pretty chilly for like 2 days, and then it kind of went back up today though. So I think it's gone. Fingers crossed that it's
Okay.
gone for good. Yeah,
That's good.
but very very interesting, very interesting. But a lot of places were experiencing it too, so it's wild.
Oh man. Oh, I'm glad you're safe though. I guess is the thing.
Thank you.
You guys haven't had to go out or anything and brave it. You guys are just safe at
No,
home.
like I mean, I go out and take Bailey out, but even then, it's not that bad.
Okay.
Bailey's not the like usually some dogs will walk around and stuff a little bit. Bailey just kind of wants to do his thing, and he's done.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Safe.
pretty
Safe.
cool. Yeah. How's the
Oh.
weather been over there though? Like is it what month is it? So it's like this is what like your
It's still,
kind of summer, getting into summer
yeah, it's
ish.
getting into the dry season. It's still pretty. It's been fairly hot, but the week
Gotcha.
started out. It was raining and then it was cloudy, and then like I had my presentation that we were talking about off air
Right. Right.
on Thursday. The morning was really nice and cloudy, and then we went into the office building that we presented
Right.
to,
Okay.
all masked up, all safe, as
Nice.
I double
Nice.
masked because I'm terrified. I like I told you, I can't go through that again. Um, and then when we went out, it was scorching. It was hot. It was like, what
Jesus.
happened?
Yeah. What happened?
All the clouds decided to
Oh
take a
God.
nap, and we were,
The heat came out, huh?
yeah, it
That's
was,
wild.
yeah. And I was in like, I was in business casual, a nice
There you
black
go.
T-shirt and then a jacket over it,
Hey, okay.
and then
Yeah, it must have been pretty warm then. Yeah,
yeah,
for
the second I
sure.
stepped out, I was like, no.
It burns. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Aside from that, it's been a pretty good week overall for me. I'm
That's
exhausted
good.
though. I'm so
Okay.
tired.
Well, just working,
Yeah, yeah.
grinding.
Just on that grind, man. And
Yeah.
the few moments I've had to spare, I've either tried to stay healthy and taken a
Hmm.
walk,
There you
or
go.
I finished Pokemon Legends of Arceus.
Hey, nice. Oh, you finished it. Nice.
Well, the main story quest.
Nice.
I still
The
have a
main
lot
story
to
quest.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I am the type to not do the main story in those type of games and
It's
just
so
get
fun.
so involved in the side quests. But I was streaming the like last week. I was like, you know what? This is gonna take a lot, but I'm just gonna not do the side quest. I'm just gonna go through the story and do it. And I finally did it. I didn't, I got to I don't think I got to the very end because I do know you can catch Arceus, but I have not
Oh yeah, I haven't gotten there
have
either
not.
yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got there, but at least yeah, the credits rolled. I'll say that. So, which is it was cool though. Dude, it was epic, man. I was like, man, they need to do the other Pokemon games like this. This was like I
Yes.
could feel like the intenseness.
Yeah.
Like when like Palkia came out, and Diablo came out. I was like, whoa.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
spoiler alert.
Sorry if
But
you haven't finished yet. Sorry.
there's like talks and rumors about DLCs coming out for that game. So
I mean, we're a couple of hours away, Derek, from Pokemon Direct. Our
we
first
are a
one.
couple hours away.
Our first one of 2022. I think we're, if I'm not mistaken, like 9 hours away, 9.5 hours away.
Yeah, it's pretty early for me, I think. I'll triple check here.
Okay, please do check it out.
Yeah, the exact time here.
Yeah, but the DLCs, yeah, I'm excited for more.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, dude, same man. I would just want another. Even if they decide to do another game, like another like Legends Celebi or something like that, that'd be pretty cool. And just change up this
yeah.
Pokemon. Just I like this new formula if that's what they're deciding to go with here.
Same. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, there's a ton of legends or a ton of legendaries that they could flesh out story for or develop story for.
Yeah.
There was one instance in the game where one of the tinier Pokemon. See, I haven't really played since Sun and Moon, and before that I hadn't played since like Ruby and Sapphire. So there's one of these tiny Pokemon that look very elf-like that would float around that'd guard the lakes. And one of them would blink around, right? Like you know this. Like you try and throw the bomb, BALM, bomb.
Yeah.
And it'd blink away. And it made me think, this would be a fun Mew mechanic.
Yes, it would.
Right?
Yes, it would.
Right?
Yes, it would.
So there's stuff there, you know. Things that they may have tackled in movies, in the anime, like
Right.
You know, they could give us that game experience, like when they first introduced the legendary birds with Lugia.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yes. I would love a whole Lugia one too. That'd be pretty sick, man. So it looks like we'll know more about that. Possibly it's at 9 a.m. Eastern, so 6 for me. So that's in about let's see here.
That's early.
It's about 14 hours from now. No, that's way off.
No.
That's 10 hours. 10 hours.
Wait.
10 hours from now. 10 hours. Well, 9 hours and 30 minutes to be exact, I guess.
Yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, so it'd be 6 for me.
Yeah,
so right now, it'd be 10 p.m. for you. 10 p.m. at night for you.
Yeah. So 9.5 hours.
Which is good for you. Not good for me. Very early.
Good way to end the day for me.
I'm sure I'll wake up to a lot of texts and messages though from people like, oh, this is the so excited for that though. I can't believe it.
Or that's it.
Yeah, I was like, nothing much. 14 minutes though, so that's a long time. It says it's gonna be a 14-minute direct, so that's
exciting.
That's definitely exciting.
Yeah, like because of Arceus, I decided to, because I didn't get the chance to, because when it came out, I just started a new job. I decided to play Pokemon Sword.
Yes, nice.
And is it fun? It is. Oh my gosh, it's good. It's really good.
It's good. Yeah, it's really good. The formula is even different, a little bit different there in that one too.
Yeah, it's quite different. But you see a lot of the threads, and I was surprised at how nice it was, because you know, I wasn't expecting it to be Arceus levels, but it's like, you have Pokemon floating around Route 5, and you get to fight them because they're being blown by the wind. You go into a cave, and coal Pokemon are being rolled through minecarts.
Right.
It's like, what?
It's immersive, dude. I like. I feel like that might have been their kind of like maybe baby test into Arceus.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm glad I'm glad they're just going different directions. They're trying to mix it up, change it up, which is good for fans.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure.
I'm so into it, and
same. On board for the ride, man. Can't wait.
And because of that, there was a point last week where I was playing 4 Pokemon games. I wasn't playing them at once, but like I was engaged with 4 different Pokemon games simultaneously. So I had my Sun and Moon, that I picked up again recently because I don't always have access to the Switch.
Right.
I have Arceus, and then Sword, and then the constant in our lives, which is Pokemon Go. So yeah, man, I was like, I haven't played this much Pokemon ever. And
I know. Pokemon hype is crazy right now. It's wild, man. It's good though. I like it. I'm always for more Pokemon. I've always wanted an MMO type Pokemon, and Arceus is pretty damn close. So
if Nintendo could just get out of their own butts for a minute. I'm sorry, Nintendo, you guys are doing amazing work, but if you could just give us the MMO we've been wanting for decades now.
Yes.
Like,
we love the formula, guys, but it's time to change it up. Okay?
I think Arceus has proved that. Like,
yeah, I think it has too, man. It's a beautiful game.
Yeah. And knowing Nintendo, now that they have the technology, it'll take us about 15 more years before we get the MMO we've been wanting.
Yeah.
So.
Right. I know. We're still waiting for that. I was hopeful for a Star Wars MMO, a new one, when Force Awakens came out, and here we are. Still, I just want a new one. but we got a DLC for Knights instead. I was like, no.
Oh yeah.
I saw that. I was tempted to go back into Sworder.
Same. Because
right?
they always make such great trailers, and like we talked about in the older Geekcast episodes, it's the same people who make those episodes of Love, Death, Robots that look similar.
Dude, they're like action to fight scenes are great, man. It's just, and actually, I've never completed Sworder, so like maybe when the time comes, we'll get back into it. I have heard about the subscription wall in that game, but
I might it's fairly low now.
Is it? Okay, that's not bad at all. Yeah, maybe we'll have to hop back into that like eventually, because
I'll go with you.
I'm hyped for Star Wars. Hell yeah, man.
I'll go with you. Because
let's venture the galaxies.
Because what we could end up doing, Derek, is actually, from what I read and watched on YouTube, you could just go through the main story quest for all the classes and enjoy that. And then if you feel like playing more, you could do the expansion. So we could just go around together.
That's
playing
true.
The MSQs.
We could just go around, dude. That'd be super fun
for each class. That. Be a pair of bounty hunters. Be a Boba and Din. Just going through the galaxy together, like Charlie's Angels.
I like that. We play this theme song every time we walk somewhere. There's like blast our. Yeah, dude, that'd be so sick.
Oh shoot! That'd be fun to clip. That'd be fun to make.
That would be fun. That would be sick.
Mm.
We can walk over. What is it? What is the tagline that they say? Is that not the Bacta that calls a stiffling slimy? Like, just like sorry.
And if I remember correctly, you can have like little pets. So we could have our. I don't think you could have like a.
They
Yoda
need to add
race.
a little Grogu. That's what they need to add.
That'd be sick. We could pick our own little pets.
This is the way.
And yes, since customization for armor is aesthetic, like some days we could roll matching uniforms, matching armor. We could go orange and black. Some days we could do our individual thing. You could be whatever color you want. Maybe a little blue. I could wear a little red.
Yeah, dude. I'd be down, man. I've always wanted to play it like fully. So
yeah.
Might be the time.
It might be actually. Yeah. Let's figure that out because I'm excited. I'm also looking. My friend has convinced me to finally download. A lot of you guys have tried to convince me to do it, and I finally bit the bullet. And I'm downloading Final Fantasy.
Hey! What server are you going on?
I have no clue. Could you PM me real quick right now before I forget? Could you PM me yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
The sad part is, not really sad. Currently, our world is like the most congested. I don't know if they're allowing new characters, but Joe also got into it, and what me and DJ did was kind of like, we'll make a new character with you, and if you like it, we'll just help you transfer to our server when they open it.
Okay. Because we can do that.
Yeah, which is pretty nice, and I can give you that server too, just so.
Okay.
I'll PM it to you right now. So. Here, and then I think I think I'm getting my times mixed up here. Hold on.
Go for it. Take your time.
I'm making sure this is the right word.
Poop buckets. Gun farts. Sword blade. Key master.
Oh, well, I was right. Okay, I thought I was like embracing my King Arthur, but it is called Excalibur, the one that Joe's okay.
Excalibur.
Oh, cool. Excalibur. I'm gonna actually give you the actual thing too. Let me edit this. There we go. And this one is. Boom. Yeah, at least the good thing is that it's free for a good amount of the content too, so that's pretty awesome. You can just kind of experiment if you like it. You can always come on over.
All right, come on over.
Come on over, baby. Yeah, dude, I would love to make a new character too. Just fucking quest with you, man. That'd be so fun, man.
Okay, that sounds good.
Hell yeah.
I'd love to role play a hero or two. You know
right?
how I do. You know how I do.
You know how? Yeah, we know how the what did we call our group again?
Oh, Questing Services Incorporated.
Questing Services Incorporated. I miss Hungry Fist though.
Oh,
Hungry
dude.
Fist.
Oh man. Oh, when Horde and Alliance get to play together, I'm sure we'll figure out some content we could do.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Carry you guys with my Demon Hunter.
Yeah, right.
You guys never really got to see my Demon Hunter in full glory.
Yeah,
so,
not in full glory. We saw a little sneak peek,
little taste.
a little taste. Yes, a little taste indeed.
Well, Derek, yeah.
Yes.
I think we shouldn't delay any longer because the question on my mind is: Do you really wanna taste it? So let's start the show.
Let's start it. Let's start it, baby.
I'm losing ground.
Let's get it.
Do that. Okay, that dance sequence. Okay, we'll talk about
Yeah.
it in a second. Hold on. Let me make sure the intro is fully functional. Is it? Wait. Is it working? Hold on. Oh, it's working. All right.
There we go.
Here we go. We're starting. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody, to the Quit Stalling Geekcast. Oh, we just had a sub and I missed it. Oh, it's Human Panda. Welcome, everyone, to the Quit Stalling Geekcast. I am your host. I am Harold Sylvester. Welcome you to the Quit Stalling Studio live this Sunday afternoon here in Manila. It's Saturday night, and it's all right over in the West Coast. Talk about that in just a second. Hey, how are you doing? Let us know in the chat. With me today, I've got the man known to as Grasshoppers, is the sensei of humor. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Clap those hands for Derek O'Brien. How you doing, Derek?
No, I'm doing good, man. You know, just getting my dance on. You know, getting it on, baby. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Konichi, what is up? To be official, I am happy to be here this week and discuss with you with the topics we have. I'm so excited. Excited to hear everyone else's thoughts. And again, Human Panda, man, we love you, dude.
Oh, we do.
38 months, man. Wow. 3 years, what was that? Let me get my math right. That's 3 years and 2 months, yeah?
Dude, that is a
No,
long time.
Yes, that is right. Okay, making sure. But yes, man, very, very happy to be here. Excited to see all the love right away when we got back. So thank you guys.
Right?
Appreciate you.
Oh, man, it's been amazing. And... You know, it's been an amazing ride these past couple of years, Derek. And we always say that when Nate shows up in the chat. Human Panda.
Yes.
Buddy. Oh, dude. So, here's the thing, Derek. Today, we're talking about Peacemaker. We're also going to sprinkle in our thoughts on the Eternals because it's been so long. We had to wait till it released on Disney Plus, and then I got sick. You got sick. Then we had to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home because we had to.
And that was sick.
And that was sick. You know? So we're all amped up today. We got so much to talk about. And we even want to talk about some trailers. So we saw some Doctor Strange. Some new footage from Doctor Strange. So I'm excited to talk about that with you, my brother.
Yes.
And we'll get to that in just a little bit. I want to check in on you and how you've been up to. What you've been up to and how you've been doing. Sorry, I merged that.
That made sense. I understood it.
How you've been up to. We'll make it happen.
Been up to. Well, you know, I haven't been doing too much besides watching Peacemaker because I've been very hooked. So that's been very good. I actually, game-wise, I guess, I did start playing this series called the Dark Pictures Anthology.
Oh, I saw you stream that a little bit.
Yeah, and I've never heard of that series before. It's for those who might in the gaming world listening might know Until Dawn. It's that type of game. It's like an adventure story, and you choose your path, and you can accidentally kill people, help them survive. It's like each choice is so important, and there's like it's a lot of fun, and the game is made this like kind of horror themed, so very, very fun. And I'm just surprised I haven't heard about this. And because you have famous actors in there that are portraying some of the roles. For example, the actor who's going to be the new Adam, or not the new Adam Warlock. Also in We Are the Millers, that kid. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he's in there and a lot of fun, man. So that I've been enjoying that for the most part. And other than that, haven't been doing too much on like watching or binging. How about you, Matt? Any games you've been playing like crazy lately? Or
we talked about this briefly in the pre-show, or a little extensively. I've been playing Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yes.
And that's been super fun. I've had so much fun. It's the closest. I think we mentioned this last show. No, not yet.
Oh,
not yet.
I only have one. I only have one. I got lucky.
Okay. Look at you badass. I'm talking about
a lot of my friends are like, hey, I got like 8 shinies. I'm like, I only have one, and I saw it like the first day I played. That was it.
To be fair, I haven't done a lot of the rifts, those temporal rift thingies. I haven't had much time to do those yet. So not many shinies yet, but I've been really enjoying it. It's the closest.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
The game has ever felt to the anime, which I'm super hyped about.
Yes. Agreed.
Just being able to walk around and choose whether you throw a ball directly or battle is.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? It's so game breaking. It's so immersive, and
even just the fact that in a battle you can just walk around in the middle of it. It's just like pretty cool, right? It's just like okay,
right?
Yeah.
And it's almost it's like that primal version of Pokemon Snap where you see the Pokemon in their environment, and they're not. It's not like an overworld where you run up and then you engage them. No, these are the Pokemon you're actually engaging with, unlike in the previous versions of Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu and Sword and Shield. Like, if you see a shiny Pokemon in the real world, you save. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
If you see a little sparkle in the distance, you run towards it.
You run towards that and you catch it with all your might.
And it's been insane. Like, getting to see Gyarados flying into this like mid-air in a circle around a waterfall.
Dude, and just like in Pokemon I used to hate in the other versions, I actually love, and different Pokemon I have learned to hate. AKA Paris. I hate Parises everywhere.
I hate them so much.
Act so tough. It's like, get out of here.
Like, why are you so aggressive?
I know. And there's so many. I love how like there's a cute factor too. Like some Pokemon will come up to you and be like, kind of like, hey, I'm like, oh, here's a little berry that you could go with.
Right.
But it's so cute. Yeah, I know. Oh, I love it, man. They did a good job.
It's that level of immersion that we've been wanting for so long, and I think that's something we could actually do a review of, you and me. Just talk about the stuff we like about it.
I'd be so down. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean the capture card. It's so. I didn't realize the Switch was so easy to plug into a capture card.
Dude, I know, right? You just put it in there and it's just like boom, goes. I'm like,
we're good to go.
Ruby, yeah, I know, right?
Oh man, because like with the 3DS before, there was so many things you had to do, right, to get it to work.
Even with a PS4, I have to like have the setting turned like checked off, or it won't transmit properly. But Switch, just pop it in there and you're good.
Yeah. Which is surprising because of how xenophobic Nintendo tends to be with other technology.
Right.
You still can't. It's still so hard to upload, from what I hear, certain content onto YouTube. Like they will take you down if.
Yeah, they definitely will. It's wild.
Okay, so don't worry, Nintendo. The 5 viewers that are watching our videos will know how much we love.
We know when you guys are in here. Listen, heed our words.
So good.
Eat it.
Oh, okay, last thing on Pokemon Legends Arceus, Derek. Last thing I want to say, it's so casual friendly. Like I was telling a friend of mine who hasn't played Pokemon games in many generations, more than me. I was telling them like this would be a perfect jumping back in point for anyone, because they explain everything so well, and at the same time, you don't need to know any of the previous Pokemon because. Yeah, you're discovering things in a new way, and just like anyone else. So I think it's a perfect jumping back in point.
Yeah, they explained it really well. It's all like voice acted too, a lot of it, so it's really nice.
Yeah, I wish there was more VO though, because there's so many cutscenes.
Yeah, there is a lot. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean overall it's a stellar game, and I can't wait to talk more about it with you. But aside from that, it's just been all work, man. I can barely catch a breath because the moment I wake up to the moment I sleep, it's work. So I'm hoping to change that real soon, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Soon it happens.
Hopefully the load gets lifted off a little easier, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. We got to talk about the Eternals. We got to talk about Peacemaker today. Do you want to tackle the Doctor Strange trailer before or after?
We can probably say that for the end. I like that.
Okay.
Or it can be in between two, in between both of them. Yeah, I'm down for whatever.
Okay, that sounds good. Oh, real
Yeah.
quick, I also saw Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Did you? How was it?
I really liked it.
Did you? I gotta have to watch it just because Paul Rudd's in it. I love Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd's always Paul Rudd, man. It's
love-
more
I
of
love
his
Paul.
"I love you, man" Paul Rudd than Ant-Man Paul Rudd.
I actually just watched that the other day with Chloe again. Such a good movie.
What a good movie!
It is so good.
Like,
See you later, Jobin.
because okay, I don't know if it was the same for you, but before "I Love You, Man," there weren't too many examples of non-toxic best friendship between two guys. In the same sense that you could be so open and vulnerable. Like a lot of it in media was always used to be portrayed, at least from what I saw, like, yeah, man, I'm so tough. I hope you could be just as tough. I hope we're the same in terms of like how cool we are with each other. We're very standoffish, but here they really showed you like, no, it's okay to just be emotional sometimes. It was really refreshing.
I like it. Yeah, they did a good combo of actors too that I think played the roles really well.
Jason Segel and Paul Rudd, yeah.
Yeah. Very
fantastic. It was really nice, and the script was really good as well. You get the guy who also plays Charles Boyle in Brooklyn Nine-Nine going, "Here we go, Galaxy, here we go."
Everything you got. Awesome. I love soccer.
Joe. His name's Joe Latrulio, and he's a good character actor.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome, man.
Okay. All right, Derek.
Yes.
We got to talk about. Okay, here's my big question for you: Eternals first or Book? I was gonna say Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba.
Do we do Eternals first or do we do Peacemaker first?
I feel like we start off hot with some Raising the Peace, man. I've since it's just really fresh. Yeah, it's so fresh, and I'm just so excited to talk about it, man. I'm definitely want it.
Right.
Like, let's do it.
Let's do it, man. I am also super excited about Peacemaker because it just finished, and yeah, man, we were talking about it briefly before the show, and yeah, it's a good piece.
Yes,
it's a lot of making. So.
Yes, a lot of pin making. Oh man, but and I will say too, man, for anybody who's here. We are going to get into the show. If you haven't seen it, obviously, avert your ears, avert the eyes.
Yes.
We'll be going into heavy spoiler territory with Peacemaker.
Spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. Spoiler alert.
Join us. Yes, spoiler alert.
All right, here we go, Derek. Let's talk about Peacemaker. And this section of the
Yes.
show is brought to you by Panels Comic Book Coffee Bar. Yes, our friends over at Panels Comic Book Coffee Bar want you to have a good time when it's time to read your comics. And if you're into comic books yourself, and you happen to be on the West Coast of America, why don't you head on over to Panels Comic Book Coffee Bar over at 713 Mission Avenue, Suite A in Oceanside, California, and have yourself a good time. Good time. Ooh. Tell Lachelle and Aris we sent you. And if you can't make it to the West Coast, or can't make it to California, maybe you want to get your comics online if you're in America. Derek, where can people go to maybe subscribe and get their comic book fix from Panels online?
Yes, no sweat, guys. If you guys are a homebody, such as myself, and you want to do this stuff online, you can head over to leagueofcomicgeeks.com. I posted that in the chat section for you guys. I'll also say it again for our audio listeners. That is leagueofcomicgeeks.com. All you got to do is go online, make a quick profile. Super, super easy, guys. And then you can start pulling your comics. And the great thing about this is, for example, I live really, really far from Panels Comic Book Coffee Bar. However, I can choose them as my store, and I can have them pull the comics weekly. You can have them bulk it up, send it week by week. It's whatever you want. That's the beauty of it, guys. And you can also see hot topics out for the week, upcoming novels, upcoming comics. It's so amazing. Get over there, guys. Start pulling those comics and at the comfort of at your own home. It's very awesome. Again, that is leagueofcomicgeeks.com. Start polling.
Yes, that's right. And if you want to see
Yes.
what Panels looks like, head on over to Instagram and check out Panels Coffee. Their social media is fairly active, and they're a good follow
awesome.
too. They have some great recommendations from time to time. So
will make you thirsty for sure too.
Yeah. Oh,
like
definitely.
The drinks look amazing.
They have really fun combos, and one day, Derek.
They do.
We'll get
one day. Yes.
We'll get to check it out.
One day.
Oh my gosh.
One day we'll have this segment, and it'll be us like in front of the store, like going. Oh my god! Ooh, look at this! And
that'll be so fun,
right? That'd be pretty awesome.
That'd be super cool. All right, Derek, I do really want to taste it. And the last time we tasted it, it was in the Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad by James Gunn, and this is where we got to see Christopher Smith for the first time, played by John Cena. Honestly, okay, we said this before the show, and I want to reiterate it for posterity and record it. I came into this thinking, Peacemaker, I guess it'll be a fun little show that I'll watch from time to time. You know, like I'll probably catch it when I can, when I have time. But it quickly became a must-see for me over the past few weeks. And so to frame this, I watched it week per week, and you watched it all in one go yesterday.
Yes.
And I always thought when this was announced that like, really they got John Cena's Peacemaker. He was okay in the Suicide Squad.
Out of all the characters, right?
Yeah, out of all the characters, you have Harley Quinn, you have Ratcatcher 2, you have Idris Elba's, I was gonna say Deadshot. What's his name again? Oh my gosh,
I look it up. But you had King Shark too, which is
King. Oh, it's adorable.
I really didn't want that. I wanted that would have been a funny show. It's a shark. Something shot, wasn't it?
No.
Was it not?
Gosh, I'm blanking out.
Bloodsport.
Thank you.
Bloodsport.
Yes. So you had Bloodsport. Man. And okay, spoilers. Then they killed Rick Flag. So
yeah.
So that was kind of a bummer, but okay. They teased it at the very end of the movie where he survived, and I was like, okay, I guess. And then it became a James Gunn thing, and he always does this. He manages to do this with his properties, where he makes a character more than a one-note character.
Yes.
And it was really good. Like the whole season is a masterclass in how you get your foot in the door. With a guy like Peacemaker, you get your foot in the door with all the action and what's expected out of a superhero flick, and then you start adding the layers behind it, and it's such a fun show,
dude. It's so amazing. And I actually think too a lot to do with it was why I didn't think it was gonna be that good, because I feel like the movie tone of Suicide Squad makes you look at Peacemaker in a more negative light, right? Like he's kind of like the bad guy in a sense. Like you're just like, oh, he killed one of the main guys off, and he's just like, he doesn't care, he just wants to follow orders type of thing. So you're kind of like, at least in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, Peacemaker's not like, didn't impact me that much in the movie because of like the kind of dick move he did at the end.
Yeah.
But so you go into this and you're like, okay, well, let's see, maybe they're gonna try to like be one of those stories they try to make you feel bad for the bad guy, but it was that and then more. Like, you learn to love Peacemaker at the end of this, and it was just like Harold said. I had the same thoughts going into it, man. I was like, all right, well, we'll give it a watch. It can't be that bad, right? It's probably gonna be cute, like decent. James Gunn wrote it, so it might, you gotta give him that. And then you watch it and you just fall in love. It's literally right off the first episode, and it's not like something that gradually built. I think gradually as it went on, it just kept getting more and more like lovable. You know what I mean? But man, right off the first episode, you just want more. Like I can't say that enough. I still want more.
I totally agree. And what they do is they take this guy who, like we said, is very one note. He's someone who will kill every man, woman, and child for the sake of peace.
How ignorant
and blind can you be? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right,
there we go.
Derek, for those of you listening to the audio-only version, Derek just put on a Post-it note on his chest that has a hand-drawn, a very lovely, artistically rendered Dove of Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, I totally... I love it. No, and, you get this one-note guy, and you flesh him out, and it's done brilliantly because they have 8 episodes to do it, right?
Yeah. I think they're doing well on that front for, like, if this is the start of how they're trying to compete with Marvel in the series aspect, because a lot of story was told through this, like, right? Like, obviously, this made you appreciate Peacekeeper way more than the movie did.
Yeah.
Even if you appreciate him a little bit or didn't at all, like, this movie or this series would definitely change your perspective 100%, and in a good way. And him and many more characters, which I also didn't expect. I thought it's probably just gonna be all about Peacemaker, but no, I was wrong.
Oh yeah. I was wrong too. Because honestly, that's the impression you get, right? And
yes,
that's just the magic of the writing of this, and it's not as evident as it is in the intro. It's how good is the intro, Derek?
It's so good, dude. Like, I think this is one of the only shows where I wanted to watch the intro every time, dude. Like, just because it's like every time you watch, like, dang, the dance moves look so good. And then it's also kind of cool because you're like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Who's that?
Right?
Guy? And then, like, you're watching, like, oh, I know who that is now. And I love it, man. Dude, James Gunn, just chef's kiss, dude. Honestly. Amazing.
And I'd love for everyone to check out. They talk about the intro a lot in the behind the scenes, where there's really a purpose to every movement, and there's a story being told here as well that supposedly changes with every episode, and your perspective changes every time you see it. So yeah, I really advise you guys to check that out because they explain it really well. And one of the things I do want to point out is how simple the movements are, that you could probably learn this in a couple of hours. In a few minutes.
For sure.
And that was on purpose, because they really wanted this to be as simple as possible, because there are so many different people in the cast that they wanted it to be learnable by everyone.
That makes sense.
And this
didn't want to make it like a BTS.
Oh my god.
Like crazy dance move. Yeah, which is also mentioned quite a lot in Peacekeeper. Funnily,
shout out to Kevin A. Maddox in the chat. No, yeah, definitely right. And so one of the things I really appreciated about the intro as well, just to round things off, and I'm not sure if you feel the same way, Derek, is I really like the fact that every time it focuses on one person, you really focus on that one person. Like when it focused on Hardcore, like, oh wow, like her arms are great. When it focuses on the dad, on Robert Patrick, with a hip thrust right after the gun firing, it's
right.
Front and center, this guy's probably gonna play a big role. It's really nice, and it's really well put together, and that's just the James Gunn thing, I think.
Definitely, yeah. I can't even, and we mentioned this before too. It's just like his writing potential and just his mind. This is brilliant, man. And it's just, I think from that fact alone that I went into this not expecting anything at all, and it just came out wonderful. Mm-hmm. But you know what? And the funny thing is too, for Suicide Squad, I knew it was gonna be pretty good, but I remember watching it, I'm like, wow, I actually enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I would. So I guess that's James Gunn's specialty, because I mean, I think we can all say that same thing for Guardians too. You know what I mean?
Oh yes.
Like, we knew it was gonna be good, but man, it was amazing. It's hilarious. Writing was great, perfect, and you get like a lot of that vibe in here too, which I love. I love the playful, very down to earth, modern, like superhero thing too. It's like present day, which I like. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
They were able to reference Ariana Grande and all the just like people. It's just like the most random things to get thrown out, and just like, okay, that's cool. And they also they're smart. They do a little probing of like the superheroes, right? They mentioned Aquaman and Superman and Green Arrow even. Jeez, that was surprising.
Can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
He has a fact for every superhero.
Every superhero.
He says them like they're fact. And then when someone like Hardcore calls him out and says, "Where do you get all of this nonsense?" and he says, "Google." And it's like,
yeah, what? Are you trying to say Google's lying to me? You're smarter than Google? That's how you're trying to say? Why would Facebook lie to me? Why? There's no reason to lie to me. God,
it is so funny because these like it's something someone like that would say. And
right, I know, dude.
And
it's
and
so
it works
true.
so well. And I think, we're mentioning people like Harcourt, Economos, Adebayo, and Merle. The cast is, like you said earlier, I thought I was going to go in and just see a lot of Peacemaker, make dick jokes and stuff.
Right,
But
right.
it's a whole thing. The whole cast really works, and it wouldn't work without the whole cast. It's easy, I want to compare it because it's easy to compare it to Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
right,
when you see ensemble movies, you always think, yes, he's the hero of this. Justice League, but Batman's the big guy that they're all working towards, or Superman is the guy that they want to bring back because he's the big hero. But in films like The Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy and shows like Peacemaker, everyone is a scene stealer and everyone has a time to shine, and Peacemaker's one of those where I do not feel like Wolverine is stealing the spotlight. Right. Like, this is everyone has their time to shine, and a lot of these side characters like Economos have moments where, taking Economos as an example, it's jokes, and he's the butt of the joke. Where he's dyebeard, ha ha.
Right.
In a modern consciousness, you feel bad for him, and you feel like, oh my god,
especially when he breaks down, right?
Peacemaker's a jerk. Peacemaker's a jerk, and he's really bullying him. And then later on, you get that same joke, and it's given emotional depth where he literally explains why he dyes his beard, and it's such an emotional moment. It is not played for laughs. It's played for, this dude is a human being at the very core, and it takes a lot to do that.
And I agree. James Gunn does a really good job of like equally making you get emotionally attached to all the characters, not just Peacemaker. And that's kind of tough to do, and he does like an extremely well job of that. Like Economos, a perfect example. Even with Hardcore, you kind of go into each of their personal backstories, which is really nice. And like I said, you really feel for the characters, so you almost feel like as a viewer you're like part of this team, so it's that feeling of like belonging with them, and it's great.
We're talking about Harcourt, Derek. Very early on, Harcourt establishes, I am not someone Harcourt. I'm not someone that's just gonna be a one-night stand or a love interest or whatever. She's a badass in her own right, and they flesh that out. Eventually, it leads to her becoming the leader of the group of the. I'm gonna get this wrong. 11th Street Kids, I think is what they call them.
11th Street Kids. I think you're right.
And it's very heartwarming to see her warm up to everyone in the group, because as is with any type of team like that's structured per project, you don't always know everyone and you don't always get along with everyone, and to see her grow into or them like endear themselves to her, it's really nice to eventually see the payoff. And I want to get your thoughts, Derek, on, do you think Harcourt and Peacemaker in those last scenes, not to jump the gun, not to jump the gun, but do you think that little hospital scene where Chris is waiting by Amelia's side and them touching hands a little bit, that shaky hand touch, do you think that's a romantic thing, or do you think that's a more of like, wow, this is someone who has my back, and I
think it was more like, I'm here for you, like we're family type thing, what I mean? I feel like at first we're kind of trying to push the emotional, or like, the relationship vibe, but I think like at the beginning in the first couple, it was kind of like established, like, no, they just kind of want to focus on what we're doing, maybe later, down the road. And it kind of expound on that, which something I did notice is that I feel like Peacemaker really fulfilled his role the best in this group. He literally brought peace, I feel like, to every single person in that team. That was my, dude, they all
nice.
at the start, right? Hardcore was just like to herself, doesn't want to trust anybody, has no feelings, willing to kill on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
But over time, you see her like lighten up, like it's when Vigilante gets out of jail. She starts tearing up, like knowing he's just really trying to be there for Peacekeeper, right? And you have Adebayo struggling stuff with her wife, and he was the reason she kind of was like figured out, like, okay, no, I'm in this, I'm ready for this, right?
Yeah.
And even with Diebeard, sorry, Economos, but even him, man, at the end, he was saying he was dreading his job so much, and the last thing you see him, he was great. He was smiling, and he was happy. He literally, like, in my mind, he brought peace to everybody, and I love that.
Nice.
Dude, I loved it because everyone was so happy at the end. You know what I mean? Everyone was so happy, and at the start, they were all kind of down or just really serious.
Yeah, we see Vigilante as this. Oh, we don't even know he's Vigilante yet. We see him as this like really awkward kid who works at a.
Who's that?
Kind of
sounds
restaurant.
Italian. The name sounds. Who's that?
Right?
I love that line. Yeah. No, I don't know who Vigilante is. Yeah, sounds Italian or something. Not me.
So it's really fun to see everyone grow, and you go from this group of almost cringy people who are strung together on a team, and then eventually you're just like, oh, I want to see more of these guys. You talk about Economos at the end where he's back in, I think, Argus, and he's getting to his daily job, and it actually leads me to think like, okay, is the group breaking up for now because they've accomplished their mission, and then maybe they'll find a way to come back together later on. You're right. They really did develop as people in these 8 episodes, and
they really did. Yeah.
It's hard to do that because of how broken they were to begin with, right? And it boils down to trust issues and how, they never had a team like this and they're forced together by circumstance. And we still also don't get to see all the problems solved, which makes it a great setup for season 2. Where
it really does.
Yeah, Adebayo blows up the operation of her mom a little bit and really exposes Task Force X. Harcourt is in the hospital, dude. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Economos is, happy to be back at work. But then Chris and Vigilante, Peacemaker and Vigilante, they're back in the woods throwing grenades tied to rockets into cars. Like
into cars, just blowing up stuff, having a good time.
And Chris is eventually left next to his trailer with the spirit of his father next to him, still haunting him and all that stuff. Goff shows up as well, and it's curious to see where they'll go from here because you don't get all the answers.
Right.
Okay, real quick before I ask you about the butterflies, how good are the hospitals in this little hick-ass town, Derek? Peacemaker was shot in the throat and he survived.
Yeah,
Harcourt was bleeding out at night and they carried her.
She got shot multiple times and she survived, right?
They didn't even ask the Justice League to rush her to the hospital. They slow walked across the field all the way, and it was morning by the time they got to the hospital. How good are these doctors?
They're great. I mean, we gotta go there apparently for every injury. That's where you send it.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious, but also I will suspend my disbelief for this.
I mean,
show.
I don't know that the nurse in the first shot, she did look Filipino. Maybe it's just the Filipino nurses just doing their thing.
They have been spread across the Americas to help these people, Derek. All right, they have spread their magic touch all across North America. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, antagonists, the butterflies, man. I want to get your thoughts on these because
the butterflies.
They're brutal. They're way more brutal than I thought they'd be. I thought butterflies was like a code for sleeper agents or something.
Right. Same.
And then we find out they're freaking aliens.
They were like legit butterflies. Like, I thought it was funny when he was like, "What's my next mission?" What? And he's like, "They're Project Butterfly." Like, "Oh, what now? You guys are horrible at names." Like Project Starfish was a literal starfish. What's this? Literally butterflies, and they're like looking around. Like he's like, "Oh my god, it really is butterflies." I had to find a giant Mothra. That was like my favorite thing.
It took him so long to tell us what the butterflies were too.
Right.
It was such a mystery for so long.
Right, and see, that's what I also like about the show is besides the funny, the comedy, besides the action, you had that like mystery going on too. Like, okay, he found this like weird talisman in the girl's apartment that he first killed. What is it? And then you're like, oh crap, it's a spaceship, but for what? And then you find out what are these things coming out of these people's throats when they're eating honey or with the honey looking goo, and it's just like it's a road of mystery. And I think it just adds on top of everything, which makes it so good, you know?
Yeah, and it's paced out really well. It's easy to get fatigued with that kind of thing, right? But they find a way to deliver what the butterflies are at the right moment, enough to leave you wondering, but at the same time enough to when they actually reveal what the butterflies are, you're like, oh, all right,
yeah,
now tell me more. You know, like
yes, exactly. It's
done well, because if you're strung along for too long, you lose interest, and they do it really well. I was horrified when I first saw what the butterflies actually were.
Yeah, they kind of look creepy. Yeah, they look kind of like freaky. Yeah, and alien butterflies. Really.
And it was, I shuddered when I started seeing. Well, the first time we actually get to see it is when Goff goes into the detective. I forgot what her name was. Sophie.
Sophie.
When Goff just goes into Sophie and you're like, what's he doing? Oh my god! And then you start to slowly get like, oh, this is how they take over a body.
It's
and
it's very vivid. Like it's the image and just a lot of blood.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's vicious. Because Goff ends up when Goff finally takes over Sophie, he explains like, oh, this is how. He literally says like, just enjoy the moments now and all that stuff, because that's when you start to understand, oh, they die. Like the people these butterflies take over, you know, they're dead. Like this is what the butterflies do, and they just puppet you for the rest of your life, and it's horrifying because Sophie was such a force for good that entire first half of the
Sophie.
season.
She was funny too. She was so funny.
She was funny. And then, you know, unfortunately, she loses that personality because Goff is the one that takes over. Yeah. And, you know, it's that much more jarring to know that they take over one of the actual good guys of this series, or the actual good guy of this series. And then shortly after, they take over the entire town or the entire police department. And it is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And then we end up finding out, Derek, about their whole plot with the cow, because it's the only way they could actually eat on Earth. And in the finale, we discover that they're actually supposedly here for good. And like any colonizer, or actually like any benevolent colonizer, you know, they think. The butterflies think that what they're doing for Earth is a good thing. You know, they think, okay, you guys can't save your planet. This is what happened to us on our planet, and we couldn't stop it. We're here to help you. Like any malevolent and benevolent colonizer, their actions do not justify their means, right?
Yeah, right. Imposing their will,
right?
Like how they said it too. Like, yeah. You can't impose your will just because, you know, you think your way is the right way.
Yeah.
Type of thing. Yeah.
And, you know, that's also the issue that they state at the end, where it's like, did we just screw ourselves, or did we just give ourselves a chance at making our own mistakes? And, you know, it's really a moral thing, and it's difficult to deal with, but that's really what being human is about. You know, day to day, we're making a ton of mistakes.
Right.
You know, with what's going on in the politics of the world right now, we're not going to talk about that, but you know, everything is going to change, and a lot of people are looking at electric vehicles now because of the repercussions of what's going on in the world. And
right.
Where we've been warned for decades that we should be making the shift to electric vehicles and electric modes of transportation. So like all that stuff, it's really surprisingly prominent right now, and it's
Yeah.
nice to see. It's nice to see, told in a way that for you and me is very digestible. You know, I do not want to listen to geopolitics and listen to the environment in my daily life. That's not really. You know, there's a reason
Dude,
why Captain Planet was
yeah.
such an impactful thing. It was because they
Right.
made it digestible for the common person who really
Right.
doesn't want to have to deal with the horrors of the world. And that's kind of what they did
Yeah.
here
Yep.
as a layer to this nice story about a guy looking to make amends.
Yeah, dude.
right?
Yes.
Like, would you agree with me? That's pretty much the essence of Peacemaker. Is he's haunted by something that he accidentally did, was kill his brother. Right?
Yeah, I know. I know.
That we find out at the very end that that's the crux of his character. Is he to this very day was forced to fight, and it was
He's haunted
shown,
by it too. Yeah, it's just crazy, man.
it was shown as something of a pastime, but by his redneck community, and he accidentally
Yeah.
murdered his brother, and you know he's been haunted by it ever since, and that explains why he's so jacked. Is like Terry Crews, who experienced a traumatic experience while he was young, wants to be able to control his faith,
Yes.
his
Yes.
fate more by any means necessary. So it's interesting
Right.
to see.
Right.
It's interesting to see, and yeah, I want to get your thoughts, Eric, on Peacemaker's
Yeah.
overall arc, because essentially, everything okay?
Okay, can you give me like 2 minutes? I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
go
What's
for
up?
it, please, go for it. Yeah, so in essence, you know, this is what makes the whole story of Peacemaker appealing, is the fact that he's this really wounded and broken guy, and he's surrounded by all these other wounded and broken people who have different types of issues, from trust to family to loneliness, and you know they're all very relatable in their own way, and it's so interesting to see them come together as the 11th Street kids and sort of end up pulling out better. And like Derek said earlier, you know, they're more at peace than they were when they first came in, and I didn't expect that at all from the announcement that we're making a Peacemaker show on HBO. And especially when you first see Peacemaker on Suicide Squad, like we were talking about, like, you know, I'm gonna build a series around this guy. That's really the impression I first got, and it was almost inspiring to see how James Gunn was able to flesh out this one note character and turn the whole series, or turn his whole immediate universe or world into something that I was really interested in watching week in and week out. And I honestly want more. I'm glad that if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's been announced that season 2 is going to happen. And if you've seen the show, yes, why not? You know, I'm glad they didn't delay the decision, because it is such an amazing show that, you know, they should make more. And I don't know where it's interesting to think about where they'll go, because that one mission that they were set up to do has been solved, and he's slowly making peace with what he did in the Suicide Squad movie, which is, again, spoiler alert, he murdered Rick Flag. And I'm curious to see where he goes from there, because will that continue to haunt him alongside the fact that his dad is now haunting him as well? The murder of his dad, who all he wanted to do growing up was please, and now he's come to the realization that I wasted all that time trying to impress you, and I should have just done my own thing. You know, we can all relate with parental issues from time to time, but it's interesting to see where that will lead him, you know, and will his team come back and back him up? Will he end up getting more adventures with them, or is the next season going to be about a different crew, a different type of what is the next mission, I guess is what I'm wondering about personally. I'm curious to see that. Chad, let us know what you've thought about Peacemaker so far. I really want to know. It's been an amazing series, and again, I did not expect this, and I just thought it'd be some fun popcorny thing that I could pick up from time to time, which I'm finding now in Amazon. I think it's Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime's Reacher, also another testosterone-filled show with a blonde as his sidekick. Yeah, no, check that out as well. But yeah, so Peacemaker so far has been a breath of fresh air. James Gunn has really found a way to take the superhero formula and, you know, breathe different life into it. Everyone was saying, or everyone says that Marvel has a specific formula to their movies, and it works. I don't see every Marvel film is the same, but I see the similarities and I see the threads, but I wouldn't call it a formula. But James Gunn has found something that's working for DC and for these types of properties where it's a little edgier and it's taking hold of the narratives like with Peacemaker and fleshing them out more to be a little less dramatic. So Derek, I want to.
Yes, sorry about that.
No, it's all good. I want to throw it back to you real quick. So with Chris's overall development happening, you know, I want to get your thoughts on Peacemaker as a character, and do you think we'll get more of the same in season 2, or will this be more focused on maybe the mission at hand?
Ooh, okay. As character, I thought they did like I said too, like coming off of Suicide Squad, I thought like James Gunn did a really good job of kind of making you lean towards the negative side of him as a character and him as a person, like his values, right? But then when you're watching this and it's unfolding like his history and why he's like this, and he's like kind of, you know, I don't think he kind of wants to admit that he's like this. He was molded by his kind of dad, and you know that he really thinks he is a piece of crap. He keeps telling himself like that, you know. But dude, I think I loved how they developed it, and I also think, kind of going off what you said, I think at the end of this episode they really just like that was his peak. He figured it out, like, okay, this is not who I am. And I think he kind of realized that too when he, you know, killed his dad. But I think he was just kind of like, no, you know, it's all okay. Like, no, it wasn't my fault. Like it was your fault. Like you made me like this kind of type thing. And I like how that was kind of like the pinnacle, I felt like, in his character. And I think that way now in the second season, hopefully they can also focus more on like the missions and stuff that they do, because I feel like this was maybe his like origin story, right? And I like that because the kid in one of the episodes was like, do you have an origin story? And he was like, kind of doesn't, you know, like he does, but like it's kind of, you know, but now I feel like this whole series as a whole could be his origin story. You know what I mean?
Similar to Tom Holland, you know, and his Spider-Man, where it took 3 movies to establish who he was. I get that. I get that.
Yes.
Similar to how you had origin stories back in when some of our favorite superheroes were first brought to us, you know, like Iron Man and being in that cave and being a prisoner of war, all of that. Those actually unfolded throughout several comics, you know.
Exactly.
You know, with great power comes great responsibility shtick was, you know, you had that first issue where Spider-Man gets his powers and all that, but his origin story is actually, the more you flesh that out, where Peter is a struggling photographer and all that stuff. You don't get that in one go. So I get what you mean, and I think I agree. I definitely agree that this could be his legitimate origin story. This is him beyond the basic, you know, I kill for peace. Like because you know, some people develop later on in life, and I think that's a good, you know, that's probably not what they intended with the show, but it's a great way of showing it on screen. Is like, Peacemaker is like a 40-year-old dude, but now he's finally learning to be a person. Now he's finally learning to be his own person. So it's nice. It's a good thought, and
definitely excited for what is to come, you know, with more of Peacemaker too, just because of how, you know, good his. You think about 8 episodes, it is a lot, but it also is not. But and I'm so happy, like the amount of growth we got in development. It's just making me so excited to see what. Hopefully, there's more to come with Peacemaker, because I mean, it seemed like at the end there with the Amanda Waller announcement that things might go a little further. Hopefully,
Oh man, I want to see some Task Force X level people join him. You know, aside from Vigilante, like I want to see more of those types of people. Whether they're hunting him, maybe, or you know, maybe they're teaming up with him. Like Judo Master, I thought would eventually team up with him because
dude, same. I totally agree. I was like, man, because you know, at the end when the second fight, they're like, wait, no, the butterflies are actually. I thought maybe that was like a step. Yeah, that was like a step in the direction of them kind of getting close. You know.
Yeah.
I like that.
I hope they bring Judo Master back.
Same, man, it's so funny.
Real quick, I want to tackle what BMO's asking about. Yeah, there is a post credits in the final episode, and it's it's them just
sarcasm.
It's just them talking about like, oh, if you could just warn me when you're gonna be sarcastic, you know, like sarcasm, and then he
was like sarcasm, like you don't look fat in those clothes.
What a jerk!
He's like, by the way, being sarcastic. I don't think you eat too many chips for human consumption. In sarcasm, I'm not worried about your life, but I actually am.
And then then he said something like, honest truth, it's because I care about you. And like Economos is just there, like kind of stunned, like, thank you? Like,
why do you guys care about my physical appearance so much? Like, it's so funny.
And then, like, they explain it's because they're also sort of concerned for his health. And it's like,
I like it, dude.
How do you people do this? How do you... Oh, my gosh.
Vigilante is just a great guy. I love it. Definitely probably my favorite in the series. Just so funny, man.
And then we talked about this also, like, that he's British.
Yeah. Right. I know. Crazy, man. They got the accent nailed down so good.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you something too.
Hit me.
I thought something they were hinting at early in the series was the gorilla. I thought that was very, very interesting.
No, but they just chainsawed Grodd. Like, who? If that is Grodd?
Well, I thought. Well, because my thing is, I don't know too much about Grodd, but I do know he's very into the mind games. He's very into mind control. So I thought maybe that the butterflies. Maybe their master or like someone on a bigger scale, higher authority might have been Gorilla Grodd because they did say on the news part that the gorilla got out somehow and no one knows how. Like how did you know what I mean? So I eventually thought maybe this could be a segue like later because he still has Goff with him. So maybe Grodd was like a bridge between them, like, oh, I can help you guys like establish this dominance. Over the world type of things. But I thought that was really cool. And you even heard the gorilla say like, die human. I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Right? So
and it was like, correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't the gorilla's lips weren't moving, right? It was like a mental
kind of like it was just kind of like a grunt. Dude, I was like, oh dude, I'm like, hopefully they can kind of, you know, spin that because I did like that little Easter egg if it was, you know, because I mean I'm always thinking like, okay, so why would they? Because like theoretically they didn't have to show that, right?
Yeah.
Like, theoretically they didn't have to show a gorilla getting taken over. Like didn't make anything different for the story. So, but very cool. I really liked it though.
Yeah. Oh man, it's fun. Bimo in the chat says we were surprised Vigilante was in Bridgerton. Yeah. Like.
Yeah.
Like
exactly. Harry Potter too, apparently.
Yeah, well, that was weird. Yeah, you and I just Googled that earlier.
Yes, the Deathly Hallows and Half-Blood Prince. He was in like a Quidditch guy.
I feel like he could also be like a Weasley cousin. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be. Who knows, right?
Yeah, like you couldn't tell like if you. I was telling you know, when I was watching it, I was saying like. If you showed me his scene in Bridgerton right after I finished the finale of Peacemaker, I still wouldn't have recognized him right away.
Right.
Like there's something they like. Yeah, he might be.
Dude, I know what it is. You know what it was?
What? No.
The face changes. The face changes. He got you confused, man. He did his job. He was like, nope, they're never gonna know I'm from Bridgerton now.
If I move my face like this, you won't recognize me in the lineup later.
Right? Yeah. I remember like watching. I'm like, what is he doing? And I was like, oh my god, that was so funny.
And they that's okay. I forgot to mention this too before we move on, Derek. A lot of the things that they say on the show that are obviously either wrong or hilarious and maybe
Childish way
misguided.
of thinking, pretty much.
Yeah, like a lot of the misguided stuff they say, you can sort of follow the you can follow the thinking behind what they say, and that's what makes it more hilarious and relatable. But also it makes me kind of scared, like, oh yeah, this is how a lot of people really think, because
Yeah.
a lot of bro science comes from stuff like this.
Yes, exactly. I actually, at first too, I thought Vigilante might have been bad.
Yeah.
The scene where the Berenstain Bears got taken down, I thought that was pretty, like, damn, he just doesn't even he just doesn't have a feeling in his bone. He's just ready to kill, So I was like, oh, maybe this is like a segue, but no, he's just. Like they said, he's just kind of psycho. Yeah.
And it was very Deadpool-like, right? Like he really walks up there, he starts whistling.
Yeah.
And he's like, da-da.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Vigilante is a good character overall.
Yes, great character.
Really nice foil to the seriousness of how Peacemaker takes himself. This guy is just the little kid brother that the Peacemaker didn't want.
Never had, right? Yeah, right. The two of them together are so funny too. The scenes, definitely a good watch, guys. For those maybe wondering, we were both, me and Harold were both kind of skeptic going into it, and now it's so good.
It's up there. It's really up there.
It's very up there. Yeah, it's very up there.
Speaking of up there, Derek, let's give this a little quit stalling Geekcast rating.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah, well,
or give it out of 10 doves of peace.
Yes. Oh, you read my mind, brother. Out of 10 doves of peace, how many would you give HBO Max's HBO? Yeah, is it HBO? Yeah, HBO Max's Peacemaker.
How much I would give this? I would give this 9 doves of peace. There we go. Bam. I would give it a 9, a very high 9. Just because there's not a lot I can nitpick about the show, man.
Yeah.
It's so good that like it had everything that I would love in a show and then some. So that I love the comedy. I always love a good comedy, action, and like kind of mystery or like a story. And I feel like James Gunn did it so well that he melded all of them equally together. One didn't overpower it the most. There wasn't a lot of scenes where I was like, oh, okay, this is dragging out. Let's just get it on with. No, I thought every episode was really good. Cliffhangers are great. Story ended well, started well. So I'll give it a solid 9 out of 10.
Excellent.
How about
Dude,
you,
I am in sync with you. I think we're playing for the same band right now. From the music that James Gunn
the music too,
has put in the soundtrack, which is just a superpower of his. The unexpected things, like the cameo from the Justice League, because at first you'd think that's just a throwaway line that they would give, and then you actually see Momoa and Ezra Miller up close.
Right. Like,
amazing.
Wow.
To the comedy and the seriousness that each scene that needed it would get.
Yep.
This is a masterclass on how to turn a property from what we would think it was to what we wanted it to be. If Peacemaker was our
100%.
favorite character, this is what you would want. And man, we got it. I enjoyed every minute of it, and I'm looking forward to more. And this is probably writing that I aspire to, and writing and directing that I aspire to if I ever made something that I really cared about. Yeah, so 9 out of 10 doves of peace, man. John Cena knocks it out of the park to the point that we can't see him anymore. And and every single beat is just meticulously done and well crafted. And if they can continue to get James Gunn to make the subsequent seasons, this could go on. It's just good.
It gives hope for like DC. Like this is stuff like this makes you like appreciate DC more. Like, like obviously we talked so much about how DC is not even nowhere near how Marvel is. These shows like this, it's definitely a step in the direction that they could be, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's so good.
Oh my gosh, Derek. Francishu in the chat
Francis
says,
wow.
well.
well 40 months. Wow, man.
How are you doing, brother?
Francis,
Francis.
you're crazy.
Francis, how have you been?
Dude.
Francis. Okay. BMO has also
Yeah, I
given
was gonna
a
say,
rating.
I like BMO's I like her rating system.
Go for it.
Yeah, BMO gives 8 helmets for the show, which I love. And that's a great dude. There were so many helmets too, so that was pretty cool. I love too how there's different helmets in the ratings. I love it.
This one gives you scabies. What?
Yeah, what?
Are you kidding me? I like how they played with that because I wouldn't have thought about that. That's clever.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
each helmet has a superpower. That's stupid, but also really clever. It's really good.
It really is. The Sonic Boom one though can't be topped for sure.
Man,
You would think like, why would his dad not put that in his gauntlets? But I mean, in fairness, though, his dad's gauntlets are pretty crazy. I
yeah.
remember that one blast like just took out a whole side of that van. I was just like, whoa, okay.
And like the soundtrack when they had him show up as a literal monster, like this guy is a neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Like, you know,
Right.
Find out that the reason why they're throwing up the horns is because he's the white dragon. It's all wow. It's all details, man. It's all in the details. It's really good. Yeah.
It really is.
Okay. Francis, you got Rona the other week. Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm glad you're feeling better. Man, I think it went from me to Derek to you. I'm sorry, dude.
Sending Cure 3s your way, man.
Yeah. Man.
Oh yeah, get better, man.
Yeah,
Get better, my friend.
So he's saying he's on the mend. Are you getting enough food? Are you getting enough
Yes,
fluids right
drinks,
now?
Water, yes, for
Yeah.
sure, man. Take it easy at home, man.
He says taste is sort of returning. Okay, I'm glad.
Oh, there you go. There
My
you go.
smell was effed up, and not during, but immediately after, while I was recovering, and then for for a week or so after that, it was really scary. I'd smell like burning stuff out of nowhere from time.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, like every minute or so, I'd be like, "What the heck?"
What's the smell?
Yeah,
That smell.
that's crazy. So
That
he
is
does have.
crazy.
Yeah, he's saying he does have enough food and fluids. Okay, that's good. Oh man. Bima says, "I'm surprised that Dad didn't make a dummy helmet." Oh, that would have been clever.
That would have been clever, actually.
Probably narratively,
yeah.
it would have been conflated.
Surprisingly, like despite his character, he's a very smart individual. You know what I mean? For having that pocket space dimension in the first place, but just making those helmets, that was pretty crazy. If you think you give people scabies, like what? That's insane. Insane.
Yeah. Oh man. And it goes to show how smart the writing is, because like you get a lot of engineers from certain countries who end up being the extremists because of how they view the world.
Right.
So, oh my God, the writing is just so good.
It's so good.
We're
It's
never gonna
so
move on
good.
from Peacemaker if I just keep gushing over James Gunn. Okay, we'll move on. We'll move on.
Amazing.
Let's switch settings. Literally, Derek. Let's make our way over. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, we could literally talk about this eternally, you guys. Honestly. And speaks of. Oh. Q. That was right on cue, guys. We did it. We did it. We did it.
You
Oh
silly.
man.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there, Turtles. So, like I mentioned previously, it's been difficult to talk about the Eternals because we didn't quite have. I didn't have access to it at all until February.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so I finally got to watch the Eternals.
Yeah, I think you actually watched Spider-Man before Eternals, which is interesting, Greg. Because that was crazy. Because mine was opposite. Yeah, so mine, obviously we had it in November, so like.
Yeah. Oh, and then we had it in January. Yeah, so I watched it the week while I was sick.
Yeah, right. That's wild.
Yeah, that was crazy. So, let's talk about the Eternals, Derek. This probably won't be as at length as it would have been if we watched it on the day of, but I really want to talk about the Eternals because I feel like we owe it to ourselves to finally geek out about it. So, let's talk about the movie itself.
Let's do it.
And
Let's
then
do it.
I want to go into some of the characters and all that stuff. how do we start off with this? I think one of the things that I do want to mention is the amount of time it actually was. Like, this is a long movie.
It's lengthy. It's a good length.
How, like, was it like 2 hours ish?
I think like 2:45. I think it's almost 3. It was close. It was like 2:30 or 2:45. It was a good length. Yeah. Which I know a lot of people like. I will say I understand some people's views of it being a very lore heavy movie, which I like. I get it. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. You know, I know not a lot of people will, but especially for me, I know nothing about the Eternals, and it's just great to, you know, I think they're just making sure they're getting everything. You know, especially with Marvel, there's so many movies out that you got to carefully place new people in and like make it make sense. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, oh, they've been here forever and not explain why. You know what I mean? So I get it. I do get it.
A lot of exposition needed. Francis says the running time is 2 hours 37.
Yeah, it's almost 3. Almost 3 hours. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
It's an eternally long movie.
It really is. And okay, I want to start this whole segment off by saying I liked the movie. I liked it, but I'm gonna have to talk about the parts that I didn't like about it, because there are a few more than I would normally think about. Like there's a few more, like more than the usual Marvel movies. There's a lot of nits to pick in this film. So we'll get there, but I wanted to get that out of the way because yes, I like this movie, but I might talk about certain parts very passionately because, you know, there are parts where it's just it's taking too long. You know, let's get on with it. So I want to start off with Icarus, the character first.
Okay.
Richard Madden, if I'm not mistaken, or Richard Madsen. What's his name? Richard Madden. From Game of Thrones fame, you know, the first King of the North, all that stuff.
Yeah. Stock.
Yes. So I view him as wasted potential. Is how I'll put it first. And I want to get your thoughts on this immediately after.
Okay.
But I want to get this out first. Icarus feels too detached. And I'll explain why. So he first, you know, shows up. He's this brooding, super powerful guy. You know, I thought of it as like, oh, this guy is probably burdened with the fact that he's probably the most able out of all the Eternals,
right,
to save these people, to save the world. Okay. But maybe he's also burdened with the inability to save everyone all at once, right? You can't save people from themselves and all that. You can't be everywhere at once. You know, this was really evident in my head when we first see him in London with everyone else. Like we didn't see him first there, but you know, when we see him first see him in modern times.
Yeah.
And I guess it is the first time we see him, right?
Yeah, right. That first bridge scene was like the first time he came back
there
after being away for so long.
So we to me it felt similar to kind of like Snyder's Superman, where this guy is probably really emotionally at odds with himself, and you know, it gave me a mix of I want to know more about him and holy crap, he's so confident, he's so cool, and it's also kind of similar to what I first thought about Homelander. Personally, where I was like, oh, there's some mystery to this guy. And then what ended up happening for me is he lacked depth. You know, what was set up to potentially be this guy who, you know, is really cool. You know, and ended up where that's all he was like a one-note guy that was too Boy Scouty and too one-track minded. And maybe it would have been helped by a shot of redemption at the end, but instead they kind of went with that whole I'll fly into the sun because my name's Icarus kind of thing. So
I think I'll tend to agree with you on that. I feel like the depth was a little lacking for Icarus. That fact specifically, what you mentioned, also kind of was in my face. The fact that he disappeared for so long. Like, yes, we do know that he was like plotting this whole thing. He just lives for Arsham, wants to do all his orders. I get that, but there was a huge gap in time where you didn't really like what was he doing then. You know what I mean? I know the thing with the betrayal, right? That happened fairly recently to the event of the movie, right? So that whole time where he left, you know, and if they kind of expounded his like thoughts growing and eating at him, that would probably add more to like the depth of the character, right? But he kind of just said, I left and I came back, and then, you know, I just want to, I guess in a way it's almost it's kind of like Peacekeeper. He just wants to do what he's meant to do. He just like follows this guy's orders. I get that there's just that gap. Yeah, definitely was like, okay, but what were you doing all this other time? Like, why didn't we see this? Why didn't we get to feel why he felt like out of everybody, he was like this harbinger of all the rules? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see that. You know, everybody else kind of, because, you know, you see them all split up fairly early in history.
Yeah.
It wasn't like modern day. So you had that big gap. So, you know, he was just chilling, I guess. I don't know. Like, what he just, I don't know. Maybe that will get explained later. Marvel does have a tendency to do that sometimes. So yeah, I will give it that. But yeah, that definitely.
It's like, is he gone? Is he like, right? Like, will they make another one? You know,
Right. You know.
Interesting. Francis said he's just vibing for centuries, right? And that's kind of where I have an issue with it. Like, I get that, you know, 2 hours and 30 is still not a lot of time to tell a story, but, you know, a little offhanded comment here and there could go a long way. And unfortunately, Cersei kind of feels similar to me. You know, okay, again, I love Gemma Chan. She was beautiful, and it's actually why I was kind of disappointed, because I thought that she's really a strong character a strong actress when you give her a strong character that has a point. You know, Crazy Rich Asians, where she stands up to her super weird partner guy, who can't make up his mind and all that stuff. Like she has like nice depth to her as an actress, but we didn't really get to see that with Cersei. You know, she like with Icarus, she's set up to have more of her character be fleshed out later on, but she just ended up being one note all throughout. You know, could have been remarkable. She could have been, but as is, you know, they just end up leaving her as someone with a lot of growth.
And I honestly think it's that gap, dude. I think because, you know, we got some of it. We got like, which I was really enjoying, how they would go from modern to present, but each present would be, the next one would be a little bit further in time. I feel like if they kept doing that, like, show them, like, you know, maybe they're watching the news with the Avengers, the first invasion happened. Maybe show them doing something. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of was like, after that split up, it was just kind of okay.
In the pyramid, right?
Yeah, just here they are, modern day. That's it. Nothing in between. Like, I think it'd be nice to go back. But that's just
like lessen the amount of time in between. You're right. Like, give us more of how they deal with more current events and how heavier that burden weighs, instead of just like, oh, the Castillas, the Spanish are wrecking the Mayans, like, or whatever that was, like, you know, and then we give up. Like, it would have been nice to see them continue to struggle with real human problems.
I will say, I just remembered when I forget his name, the engineer, he did the Hiroshima. That was Festus, thank you. That they did show Hiroshima though. See, that was, but see, that's a character though that but see, then again though, like with Festus, I feel like I know more about him than everyone else because of that, just that one scene. You know what I mean? It's just like, he literally breaks down and says, I give up on humans. I can't help them anymore. We get to see that. So now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, well now we get to see. You thought that just that little scene made that difference.
Yes. Right. No, you're absolutely right. Like, if we got to see them maybe even just one by one, like, you know, Druid could have left in that Mayan or whatever era that was, and then have them like one by one get just like their hearts broken because their efforts are futile. That gap, you're right, that gap was so was too drastic, because we see them tackle the beasts. What are they called again? The anomalies? The deviants. And that's supposed to be what establishes their heroism. Fine. but that's not what makes their stories relatable to us as people.
Yeah,
Right? Get to the point where you have the Hiroshimas of the world. You have, that what I guess for Kingo was his relation to Bollywood. Like, give us how they get there.
See, even him, he literally, there was that part, right? And he's like, for this generation, I was this guy. For this, I was this guy. So okay, he's just been living on fame. Like, you get it.
And that's his way of feeling important. Right? That's his way of, like, I never got to be known as the savior of the world, but I can do that through these movies. That's what Keanu Reeves is doing.
Bollywood. I love it. I love that.
Yeah, right. So give us more of that. And we got the short end of the stick because they had to progress some of the story.
Right.
It was uneven, I guess, is to boil it down. It was very uneven.
That's a good way to say it.
Like, Makari just she got the short end of the stick, but I still got so much personality from her. She was in the ship the whole time, but I love her. Like,
yeah, same.
And part of it, has to be because Druig just looks at her with such love and such, such passion and, like, okay, Fastos, Druig, Makari, Kingo, scene stealers. I wrote this down on a note the very first time I watched the movie.
Scene stealers is a good way to say it.
Because even though you're supposed to be focusing on Icarus and Cersei, these are the people who are assassinating you in the background with all the care of proper character development. Fastos has built a life after Hiroshima that he actually cares about. He has a partner and an adopted child. Like, that's all you need to know about him. If he was gonna go fight against Arishem, it is to protect the life he's built for people he's found to care about, like his family, his new family, and we kind of, when you have an ensemble like the Eternals, you have to ground them that way, I think.
Right.
Ajak, I wish we got more of her, but she had, like, the ensemble nature of the movie and the fact that you have to give Cersei the reluctant hero plot meant Ajak had to take a back seat, which sucked because I think some of the more powerful scenes involved Ajak.
And I think how you said that right there just made me look at it versus, I think the thing they did poorly, which they could have done better was giving more scenes to everyone or making you feel for everyone else. Because the way you put it, it definitely felt more like an Icarus Cersei movie.
Yeah,
very focused on them too. Versus, like, you have Athena's character with what's his name? I can't remember for the life of me, but those two that were off.
Angelina Jolie?
No, not the boyfriend.
Oh, Icarus.
Fist. Not Icarus. Of Angelina, like the quote-unquote boyfriend.
What's his name? Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. Thank you, Gilgamesh. Yeah, they feel like
Francis. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like. Thank you, Francis. I feel like I can't even believe they didn't expound on their stories. Like, they did a little bit. You know what I mean? But, like, it's that gap where they could have had just one little scene here and there of how they were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to, like, you see the Bollywood, you see all this thing, you see him talk about his whole life. You get a little bit of that with Gilgamesh and Athena, but not in the sense of, like, how you did with everyone else. Especially Makari literally was just thrown into a scene and, like, oh, she's just been in the ship.
Yeah.
Just chilling. Like, those years, like, just artifact collecting. I don't know.
She had no TV. She was just collecting books and stuff.
Yeah.
And artifacts. Yeah. No, I get, like, and I just showed a brief scene, which was, I'm assuming, was supposed to be where they establish their connection to humanity, which was in those Babylonian times where Cersei would walk around and talk to people and they would interact with those early ancestors of ours. It's not enough. The problems aren't current enough, or they aren't shown to be as relatable. Like, stealing and lying about artifacts that someone collects, like, like, not a problem I would really care about these days. Like, stealing is wrong, sure. The core messages don't lie, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't get enough of Makari from that. And
we needed more Makari for sure. She was just so, I felt like, thrown under the bus with, like, story. Like it just kind of sucked.
And she had the coolest powers.
I know. She was like the most badass for me. I loved her. Like she was so cool.
You and I messaged this to each other. Never has a speedster looked this good.
Great, dude.
Right?
I
like,
know.
Props to how, Justice League handled the Flash.
Right.
But this was nice.
This is how you do it. This is how you do it. This is how you do it, man. Especially the scene where she was fighting Icarus, dude. It was just could do the Flash run. Yeah. Dude, yeah, it was and I actually looked, I think on Disney Plus, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere I saw kind of how they kind of show how they did it.
Oh, the assemble.
Scenes. Right, they show like her literally sprinting on like Jesus Christ, a treadmill. I could not think of the word. Treadmill, and the way they like added the green screen around her. Yeah, she was kind of on the treadmill, but it was also like moving. It was so cool.
That's so cool.
But, yeah, dude, but it's just like it's so natural looking.
Yeah,
it's so natural looking, not like.
Oh, I think that's our biggest issue, right? Where when you see a speedster, a lot of the times they're either running still. And you had to you impose that on a green screen, in the sense of like the CW because they're on the budget, or you have that really awkward Ezra Miller one where they're thinking too hard about how a speedster would run.
Exactly.
Where they almost make it look like he's ice skating, which again, like with the Peacemaker stuff, you could follow the train of thought, but in the end, it doesn't look as nice.
Right. Like I get it. Like I get it to the sake of how it looks, and sure, maybe they went that route for, it's gonna be a lot easier on our editing end to like not do this, like just explain it. Sure, I'll give you that, because there were some pretty cool scenes with Ezra Miller's character, even in the uncut version too.
Yeah,
the Snyder cut. But yeah, like it doesn't look as good for sure.
Yeah.
As like Makari's just like wow, it was just great.
But yeah, I think. Francis was talking about how it didn't Gilgamesh well.
Yeah, it didn't Gilgamesh well.
Him and Thena, I understand why they toned back how much they showed of them, but I think it was also to the detriment because they were interesting characters.
Right, Yeah,
and
it's like I feel like I was sad when Gilgamesh passed, but not as sad as I feel like I could have been. You know what I mean? Because we didn't get that little.
But you wanted to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's something about him that's so warm and caring.
Yes,
The fact that he shows love to Thena that seemed more platonic than romantic, which was really interesting because that's hard. That's hard to pull off, especially when Angelina Jolie is the one is the subject we're talking about in the scene. Not subject as in a woman is an object. No, a subject in the scene. Please, people, don't clip that out. It's interesting to see that because how often do you get something as impactful as them moving away together for peace and quiet, and for that to be platonic? I wish that was explored a bit more because it was really cool to see. I think. Oh, Bimo said, if Icarus can fly off world, I wonder if he pulled a Dr. Manhattan and lived in the moon. So just go through the sun and straight into
He's like, well, I tried and I didn't die, so I decided, let's chill here on the moon.
Yeah. I think, it wouldn't be the worst thing. He could be like, I tried to kill myself by going to the sun, but it didn't work, kind of a thing. Yeah. I that's dark, but oh man, I think I could see that happening. That's really nice.
Yeah, that could work. That could definitely work.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. I didn't mean to get carried away by that. I think since we're going through everyone anyway, I thought there was going to be more depth to Sprite. I think depth is going to be the key word for this review. Like when she decided to go with Icarus, when Icarus turned on everyone, I thought that it was going to be a rope-a-dope. And I'd love to get your thoughts.
Right, like she was kind of like pretending type thing.
Yeah, I thought she'd reluctantly turn on him when the time was right. But it ended up just her being infatuated with him, which was kind of like, that's it. She gonna stab Cersei and that's it. I wish there was more to it because they keep talking about how Sprite is one of the smarter ones out of all of them, but she's trapped in a kid's body. They could have shown that. Like, they could have shown that with, oh, she's actually more mature than she looks. But they played on her youthful looks and made her like act like a youth, and it was no, it was lacking. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I'm glad you do, because overall, I liked it. You know, it was it was definitely more than the sum of its parts. Maybe it's that Marvel magic that they pull everything together in the end, but it laid the groundwork for a lot of stuff. Like, I forgot Jon Snow's character's name, but like, it laid the foundation for his heritage. You know,
for not Moon Knight or Black Knight, Black Knight,
right. Like, it made him kind of interesting. Like, oh, he's always in the background, but I kind of want to know more about him.
See, and I like that you said that, because I feel like not like the majority of this movie, but a lot of this movie was I feel like setting up for things, and Sprite included. Kind of just like jumping just for this specific point to the end.
Yes,
because at the end when the Titan, the Titan pulls them all in, Sprite is not included in that pull. So you know what I mean? So like she's a human now, right? She's not anything. So I feel like that might play later, like, oh, they're gone, but we still have this. She knows everything about the Eternals still. She's just human. That's the only difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that was just kind of like something to place for another future thing. But yeah, I totally agree with you with just the definite. I thought Sprite could have been a great character for that. Yeah, you just make it's just that whole love thing. I felt like that was a big also theme, kind of going off that, like, love will change your ways, right? Because Sprite loved Icarus, so she was willing to go with him. And then Icarus, I guess I didn't really appreciate the instant switch, but the love he had for Cersei was what made him stop, you know, like. But at the end, again, like, he did all that without caring, and then it's just that last, like, see, I didn't really, for me, it made me look the other way and question, because I'm like, well, you killed all these people, you literally killed your own quote unquote family, but then Cersei's been telling you forever, then all of a sudden now you decide to stop and help. It just kind of was like, that was quick. That was a quick turnaround. You know what I mean? We didn't get to see a struggle. We didn't get to see, you know, even in the fight, just throwing like a simple, like, maybe they're right. Maybe what I'm doing is not, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
nothing. Because he was going to go there and kill her, and then he just couldn't.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I'll say that. Interesting is the right word for that.
Francis in the chat, good point. I think the attempt is trying to balance the weight of all these people on screen, but also making sure there's an anchor for the entire plot. That's definitely
correct.
Yeah, we're definitely aligned in that sense, where there needed to be much more going on, but also if you have too much going on, it's gonna really contrive the plot. So, unable to strike the balance, I think, is what this movie ended up not being able to do. And yeah, I think it goes to show that even with the Marvel name, you're not going to have that hit, that same level of a hit every time, right? Like, you could have the Marvel formula, as people say, but it's not a guaranteed hit if you can't tie all these loose ends together and balance everything well enough. Which, you know, not everything's going to be Avengers Endgame, right? Which is just a fact.
Yep.
We're going to have some of these as well, but it's totally fine. And I think the fact that when as we review this, we had to go through each individual character and not have actually time to talk about the overall plot just speaks to how much there was in this movie as is, right? Like, the narrative is they're trying to, well, the end game is their purpose was to destroy the Earth so that a new what's Arishem called?
Celestial.
Yeah, so a new Celestial could live. Like, all of that is underneath the layers of these relationships, right? And the betrayal and all of that stuff is supposed to go around that. And yeah, it was definitely a tough act to balance, and
Yeah.
you could tell they tried. This wasn't just let's put it out. It was,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, again, like, we're not saying everybody that this is a bad movie. No, we're just kind of pointing out some things we definitely noticed.
yeah.
And I also like what Francis said too. I think origin movies are still tough to make, so I'm hoping their participation will make future movies better. I agree 100%, because it is tough. It definitely feels like this movie is the start of a whole new story you could go with, right? You have the whole Celestials, and when at the end he's like, you've been taken for judgment, and our decision whether Earth lives or not will be decided later, type thing. Like, okay, this is like, who are these guys? Like, you got a whole nother story to like go off of, but don't rush it. And it's like, and I think that's why when we talked about Spider-Man, why it was so good, because it was 3 movies into one person's origin. They did everyone's origin in this one movie, so it was a lot of info, a lot of a lore dump, but I respect it. And trust me, it wasn't bad. It's just it could have been better in a lot of places.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it highlights what we tend to say these days, Derek, where it's easy to get stuff wrong.
Right.
And when that's why movies like Spider-Man: No Way Home and Avengers: Endgame need to be commended, because they can easily be too contrived or not have enough. And yeah, it doesn't make it doesn't mean we're punching down on other movies like The Eternals, because we still end up enjoying them.
Yeah,
but
of course,
it makes you appreciate the ones that manage to strike that balance that much more. Yeah. And we gotta appreciate them all we can, because you never know when you'll have a drought of, oh no, all these movies started sucking.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. They see that my only big, like, if I had to do any like major thing I didn't like, was just the fact that currently this could change, and I will say that right now, this could change. It's not like cemented, but the fact that no Avenger, no hero was notified, or nothing was mentioned, and the fact that a giant Celestial appeared in front of the Earth, like, and even I guess you could even say the ice part, like, maybe it was just like they contained it so little that maybe those tremors, maybe it felt like an earthquake, but you would feel like, at least maybe the Sorcerer Supreme would think, okay, these earthquakes are happening everywhere. There's a giant Celestial that just appeared in front of Earth. Because I thought, okay, maybe I watched it again, like maybe the Eternals only see it, but no, everybody saw the giant freaking Celestial, and like he appeared in front of the Earth and just took everybody. Like, it hasn't been mentioned in the movie yet, and that's why I say, again, this could change depending on other movies. Like, the timing could be different. Like, maybe
or they could probably like superimpose people into like, oh, Strange was dealing with the volcano.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Something could be like that specific point could be like the most recent time. You know what I mean? Because technically No Way Home was not like recent. That was like right after the Mysterio event, like literally right after.
Yeah.
So the timing is iffy, but I just hope they like just make sense of that. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, why is no one being notified? Hopefully, they might mention multiverse. We'll see, though. You never know.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You never know.
I love Francis saying their phones were down. They didn't get notification.
Right? The Celestial was like,
and he said
carriers.
They're basically space doulas. And I was like, what's a doula? Oh, the people who help birth.
Yeah. Maybe they were off-world. Yeah, right. That's true. Hey, good point.
Oh, gosh. Hilarious. No, but yeah, like, there are things that the movie does explain, like, oh, they didn't want to interfere with Endgame. It was nice when Ajax said that, she was really at awe with how humans, aka the Avengers, were able to bring everyone back.
Yeah.
Like, yes, even these otherworldly beings are able to appreciate the same heroes that we look up to, right? Like the same life and the same purpose. And yeah, it's crazy to think of the huge web that Marvel and Kevin Feige are weaving, and sometimes you're gonna get things slip through the cracks. But that's what they do, is they manage to remedy all that stuff eventually and tie things back together.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we're along for the ride,
Yes, same. I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. Hopefully, I mean, I mean, the movie's coming out. It's just like we seeing the trailers for these movies. It's not even like Endgame type movie yet, and it's like it's pretty crazy. Like Spider-Man 3 was a perfect example.
Yeah,
the hype and the amount of stuff happening, it's just like already. And you know what I mean? It's like, what is the end of this phase gonna look like? I'm just so curious and excited. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be crazy.
It must be really insane. It's like, because you know what I mean? Like before Endgame, there wasn't like a movie that was like, oh, this one was like the best.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like big time global event. Sure, like you can have the Ultron thing, but dude, it's just it kept getting bigger and bigger. So I'm just like,
and the first Avengers was cool. You know, like the first Avengers was the one where we were like, this is what they're capable of, right? That was when we knew when these people come together. All right, it's gonna be like when there's an Avengers movie, that's when you block off your calendar, and then you know Infinity War blew that out of proportion, and then Endgame just cemented it. You know, so yeah, it's crazy to think that. It's crazy to think that in a world where we have all these different movies, like something like the Eternals is all right. You know, like that's how blessed we are. That's how privileged we are right now. And you know, it's obviously better than the movies we got in a similar genre before, where you have M. Night Shyamalan's Glass and Unbreakable. You know, not to knock on those movies, but you know, when these have become must-see movies, it's fantastic.
Right. I know. I'm excited.
Yeah, like. You could miss the first Batman movie with Christian Bale, you know, and then you had the one with the Joker, where I think it was The Dark Knight Rises. Is that the one with Joker?
I think so. Or was it just The Dark Knight? I can't remember now. It
was The Dark Knight. It was The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And then you get The Dark Knight, and you're like, wait, if I miss the first one, I'm gonna go back and watch that one. You know, like it's on that scale where things just get escalated to the point where now we're just like, you know, those other movies were all right.
right. Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. Okay, Derek, on a scale of what's a scale?
Yeah, what can we use here?
That's how insignificant a lot of this stuff was. You know,
there wasn't a main thing here.
What was the MacGuffin they did? The bracelets?
What do they call that? They called it something funny. I can't remember.
Francis
you just say
7 out of 10
IKEA
space
tables?
babies. Oh, the IKEA tables. They broke those. Like that one IKEA table was broken in half. So funny.
That was pretty funny.
There's got to be something. Why are we struggling with?
It wasn't something like specific. That's why like was like a thing. I guess you could say Deviants or Eternals, but like that's not the same.
Yeah, you're right. We're on the same page on that.
Not the same.
On a scale of 1 to 10 trinkets that Makari found.
There you go. We'll just use that. Yeah.
We'll just use that for now. How many would you give it, Derek? And actually, before you give me your answer, Francis says 7 out of 10.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
How about you, Derek?
I like that.
And everyone else in the chat, let us know your thoughts.
You know what? I think I'm a side with Francis on this. I think 7 out of 10 is a good number. I think 7's good. It's a little better than half, you know, and it's almost less than a 10, obviously, and a 9. But I think it's good enough. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely some flaws in it. I think 7 was good. That could change if maybe we see more Marvel do their magic like they always do. But 7 out of 10 is perfect. I like what Francis said. 7 out of 10 celestial fingers coming out of the earth.
Oh god. Oh god.
So it's coming up. It's like how many? 7. There we go.
Look a lot older.
7's for me. How about you, man?
I would also give it a 7. I think all three of us, hopefully the rest of the chat is with us. 7 out of 10. You know, like we said, it's great. It's it's beyond that typical popcorn movie that you watch just for the action, but it's not quite up to par with some of even the more remarkable and not even top tier Marvel movies, you know?
Why didn't we could say 7 out of 10 sprites because she can multiply, I guess.
Gosh,
right?
dang it.
I don't know why I just thought of it now. I was like, wait.
That's a good one, though. That's a good
7 out
one.
of 10 sprites. There we go.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 from us. I think there's so much potential with the Eternals as characters, and as the actors are hella talented. I think they could show off more range in the future. It just sucks that we have to wait for the future, you know?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
If Marvel was not an established thing, I do not think this would get... I think this would struggle to get a sequel.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, if Marvel wasn't behind it and people knew that, like, this is kind of the formula sometimes where they set up stuff, yeah, it'd probably be it'd get really bad. It'd be a lot
because
worse.
It is Marvel, because...
Francis said backup cameras. I forgot about the cameras breaking.
That's genius, yeah.
That's genius.
Oh, we didn't even mention Kingo's valet. What was his name?
Yeah, one of the best people in the show for sure, man.
What was his
See
name?
that part too when he was like talking to them about, man, I just want you all to know I love you guys, and you know, it was great to meet you guys. Karun.
Okay, I thought I was gonna hate Karun. I thought he was gonna get old really fast. But then he was just so genuine. You know, he was like the Indian Ted Lasso of this movie.
Dude, yeah, he's just down to earth, just really just vibing with everybody, man. Just I love it. Great attitude. Just there for Kingo, man. Just like, you know, I loved it.
He knows Kingo's secret, but you could tell that dude is loyal. You could tell he's not gonna
he's
blab.
loyal. Dude, that's the perfect way to put it. He's loyal as hell, man.
Karun is awesome. All right. 7 out of 10. Derek.
7 out of 10.
Good movie. All right. Let's end things with a look at Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So this was a TV spot during the Super Bowl, right?
Yes, it was.
Lots of stuff happening, and we'll just get right into it. Was that the Illuminati, or was it not?
I think it was.
I think it was.
I would bet it was. Actually, there was an interview with Patrick Stewart. Yes, is that right?
Yeah.
It was so funny because they're like, yeah. So was that your voice in the trailer, in the Doctor Strange trailer? And he just kind of goes, looks to the side. Who's Doctor Strange? And he does like a little baby smirk when the guy laughs. He's like, okay.
That's funny.
I feel like there's so many actors being approached now, right? I think Ryan Reynolds has even been approached about if he's in the movie.
The guy who played Black Bolt in the super short-lived
that series. Was that a series?
Inhumans, yeah.
Yeah, that's man.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I mean, it looks like something. I mean, the thing is, I feel like this might not be like main canon. This could be like an alternate world, right, where they do exist.
Oh yeah, this could be like a pocket dimension. Yeah,
pocket dimension Illuminati, right? Which would be cool though. Still, it's a good nod of the comic, and it'd be so cool just to see Professor X up there with potentially Black Panther. Who else is it? Tony Stark, whoever the Tony Stark is.
Oh man,
I know a lot of rumors have been going around.
Yeah,
we'll see though. We will have to see.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting because we're in this world now where Marvel, Spider-Man No Way Home has given us the ability to dream, right? The ability to think anything is possible now.
Ability to dream,
right? And it won't be too much to think, okay, maybe you can get. I'll just say it. You know what? People, the rumors are flying everywhere, and it couldn't be, it may or may not be true. You know, we could somehow get Tom Cruise as Tony Stark and all that stuff. You know, like it's not weird to the point where you're like, that's dumb. Like it's weird to where you could be like, that's improbable, but not impossible. Right? So it's cool. It's very cool. And we know that Marvel are waiting in the wings to introduce mutants, and people are wondering how they'll do it. So there's so many possibilities, and it's great.
And the great thing about that too is just a lot of the recent events just in real life, like having Marvel buying out Fox just recently, this could potentially fix a lot of those things, because if you recall in Avengers 2, they call mutants enhanced. They don't refer to them as mutants because they didn't have the rights. I don't know why I said almost we didn't have the rights, but they didn't have the rights, so they were called enhanced. Like Wanda and Quicksilver were clarified as enhanced and not mutants. So something like this could potentially like rewrite a lot of things, or show older movies with older actors, Fantastic Four, maybe some X-Men, you know, some stuff we could get a little creep. And some people have been also very good with frame by framing the trailer. And there was even, I think, a shot where Strange is coming out of an animated world or something like that, which is also exciting, you know? It's just, and again, it's going back to what I said earlier to Harold about all these movies that I'm so excited for. How is this phase going to end if multiverse is going to be this crazy? Like, just from how it looks, like, wow. I can't even imagine what the end game of this phase is going to look like, because this trailer looks insane. Like, there's just so much going on.
Like, you got good versions and bad versions of people.
Right.
You got Beyonders. I think he has a name. Shagarath. No, that's
oh, the yeah. I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name as well though, but yeah.
The one-eyed tentacle thing.
Yeah. Our Project Starfish, the Marvel's Project Starfish, pretty much. Like,
right.
Yeah.
There's so much here. You got Mordo back with dreadlocks, and he looks amazing. You know, it's what could or could not be the TVA or the basically. I don't know. There's so much.
Yeah, dude. It's so much stuff, man. And we still haven't even touched on in any of the movies, which is also surprising, about the Loki events. Haven't been mentioned at all in any movies. Like, it is outstanding to me because that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we all know, at least from what we've been hearing and reading, that Kang is supposed to be the next big bad, and he has not even been mentioned post Loki at all.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So I'm very excited to see what their plans are. I know more. I know you, Kevin. I know you got some tricks up your sleeve. I'm wanting to see them, and I can't wait.
Francis
can't
said,
come soon enough, man.
Francis said I was saying Beyonders, and he thought I was gonna say Beyonce. Dude, if Beyonce shows up in a Marvel movie, I will lose my mind. That would be so unexpectedly awesome.
It's gonna be Thanos' entourage. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Well, I guess Shang-Chi. It would be Shang-Chi, not Thanos.
Oh, dude, if they if they have Beyonce in a Shang-Chi movie referencing the 10 rings.
I know, right? I know. Beyonce to be the next Storm. Hey, I like it.
Oh, dude. Have like a more mature Storm.
I like it. I just want to see X-Men, man. I want to see more X-Men. I feel like I didn't really agree with the casting choice for the Gambit movie of Channing Tatum, but I was just excited because Gambit's my favorite X-Men, so I just wanted to see more of him.
I was actually excited because I thought he could have done it.
He seemed to be like taking it seriously and trying to fulfill the role, and I just really wanted to see it happen. But I guess
turns out he grew up in I think Louisiana or something like.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. See,
he had that Bayou,
crazy, man.
That Bayou upbringing. So, Francis said they show her as Storm and Crazy in Love Sweatspot.
I just think of that meme where she's like kicking the sand up. It's just like her like creating a sandstorm. It's like.
I love that.
Just make her eyes white, like.
That's like a Pokemon meme too, right?
It is, yeah. Like Pikachu, you stand attack, and you're going like that. That's her doing the sandstorm for her power. That'd be so funny.
Oh my gosh,
man.
Yeah. So there's so much here. I recently rewatched footage of us talking about the Eternals. I can't wait to rewatch this and see how much more our minds are blown after the fact.
Right, dude.
Like, this is, oh my gosh.
We'll see, man. I know, but see that the trailers are, they're good at like hiding big stuff, obviously.
And we know now that
they did a good job too.
Yeah, we know they purposefully CGI stuff out now.
Yes. So hopefully someone doesn't get in trouble or something, because that No Way Home screw up was kind of bad. And I love how like someone called out, this is probably Andrew's character kicking in, and I think it actually was.
Yeah, it was.
That's why it was a good call. That was a good call.
That was a really good call.
So it's just funny. But I know, man, I'm just wow. They're doing big stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm excited. Just Disney in general too. It's not even just Marvel, man. It's just the directions of everything. It's just light speeding ahead, and we're alive, and we're on this ride, guys. What a time to be alive!
That's why I do not want to get COVID again, man. I can't.
know.
I gotta see all of this. I gotta see as much as
I
I
even
can.
gotta get ready. I gotta probably watch the Batman movie when it comes out. That's gonna be interesting.
Robert Pattinson and
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to go in like Peacemaker. Like I'm going in like Peacemaker. I hope it come out like it. I'm going in with kind of like, nah, I'm not sure, but I'll watch it.
Yeah,
And you know, but maybe I'll come out and be like, wow, that was really good.
yeah.
You never know. We'll see.
It's a good perspective to have, and
Yes.
to go into it and be like, you know what, if this is good, great. If it's not, it's just another Batman movie I get to say exists. So yeah.
Another gentleman from the UK as well.
Oh my
American,
God.
right?
I keep forgetting he's British.
Me too.
Boom.
We always think of him in Twilight. That's why we just.
Yeah.
And then you see him in Harry Potter. You're like, wait, is he? Which one is he faking? I don't know.
Right?
Which one is like right?
They say that it's easier to transition to the American accent than it is to.
Yeah, I
go
feel
to-
like
yeah.
for someone to do a British accent, it's a lot harder. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It helps that so much pop culture is with the American accent, so it's not as it's more accessible to get an
Yes.
American accent. You know, maybe not a regional one like a Mississippi one, but you know, it's yeah, definitely. All right, Derek, it's been a fun episode of the Kutzon
It has,
Geekcast.
man. It has, indeed.
Francis saying Francis saying Halle Berry was. I don't know. Wait, are you joking with how iconic she was as Catwoman, or?
Oh, are you being sarcastic? We need the vigilante sarcasm, or
Yeah, wait, we need because at first I didn't read his message prior. I thought he was talking about how iconic she was as Storm, because I kind of
that's true. She did play both. Yeah.
Yeah,
She
I
did play
kind
both.
of see her as Storm. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true.
No, it
That's
was all right. Okay, mine can't. No, all right. We'll end the show here, guys. We're good. It's been fun. Thank you everyone for tuning in to
a lot of stuff.
Yeah, today's Kutzon Geekcast. A lot of
Thank
stuff
you all.
indeed, Derek. And I want to give a shout out to Human Panda 22 for giving us a 38 month, and for Farad
38
Sishu
months.
dropping the 40th.
We're
BMO
dropping the 40.
also dropping the 40 a week ago, and Nerf Diva dropping 31 4 days ago. Man,
Damn.
wow. Enders Gaming followed us 14 days ago. Enders Gaming 14 followed us 14 days ago. So good stuff there. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Skirtso has been really active in the chat as well. Dude, thank you.
Skirtso.
And thank you for listening. I know a lot of people like to listen to us while they do their dishes and stuff. I like to listen to us while I do my dishes. I'll do my dishes when I run out of Dungeons and Daddies and
Right.
Hello from the Magic Tavern and all those other podcasts.
Amen.
I don't lie. I check for quality, and I'm still hoping
always
to
good
get
to.
quality
It's always good
eventually.
It's always good to.
It's fun, and yeah, I enjoy. Oh, Francis says 41 months is tomorrow for him, dude. Thank you and congratulations, and I love you, man. Wow, 41 months, and I've known Francis for way longer too. So he's just been that supportive of a friend, dude. Thank you so much, Francis.
Thanks, Francis. Appreciate you, man.
Oh man, Derek, I have so much I want to do with you, but we got to find the time.
Yes.
Maybe the space, time space.
We need one of those pocket dimensions like White Dragon had.
Oh man. Or one of us can capture Dialga and the other one can capture Palkia, and we'll figure it out from there.
Exactly. We'll have them figure it out for us. I like that.
Oh man, but Derek, if people want to watch more of you, where can people find you on the interwebs?
You guys can find me right over here at Sense of Humor on Twitch. I also stream Monday to Fridays. As I mentioned on the pre-show, I've been playing the Dark Pictures Anthology. So if you guys want to see me poop myself, feel free to come on and join. I'm going to be doing that at least until I finish the series out. So we're going to finish that, and you can catch me there. Also on Twitter, which is Sent to Humor _. Everything else is Sent to Humor, YouTube and Instagram. But aside from me, where can we find our beloved Harold?
You can catch me at Harold Plays on Twitter and on Instagram. Mostly on Instagram these days. I've seen how toxic Twitter can get, but from time to time, I will retweet someone having a really good day. Recently, actually, Derek, or yesterday, I discovered that one of my favorite podcasts of all time, and one that actually inspired me to start podcasting, The Instance, by Scott Johnson on the Frog Pants Network. Originally started as a World of Warcraft podcast, the best World of Warcraft podcast. And they stopped because they pivoted to general gaming after the whole Blizzard issue
thing.
All that stuff was happening. Now they're retiring the show.
Oh man.
And they still have a lot of shows that they're doing, but they're retiring The Instance, which was the cornerstone, the flagship show for the longest time. And I just want to say how impactful it was to me, and how it informed me on how I wanted to do podcasting and all that stuff, and it set the standard for me. So yeah, that was a tough time.
That's sad to hear. Yeah, that's sad to hear, man.
But you know what?
Hopefully you never know. They might come back when things are looking better. Hopefully they'll revamp it and name it something else.
Truth. But yeah, it was an inspiration, and I just wanted to share that. But yeah, man, if people want to catch more Quit Stalling content, they can check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Quit Stalling Us, on Instagram, where some of our stuff is coming up soon, at Quit Stalling. Twitch and YouTube is where we stream and post our VODs, so check that out, at Quit Stalling as well. We got more stuff coming. I'm excited. When finally find the time and just put all that stuff together. But Derek, we gotta go. So why don't you take us out?
All right, guys, we appreciate everyone being here today. All the love from you guys. Thank you so much. We will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And don't forget, there is never a wrong time to be rocking, baby. Oh, yeah.
Really want to taste that? Baby, I'm losing ground. Dude, that intro is so freaking catchy,
so
man.
We have to do the dance. We just have to learn it now.
Do you want to do a side by side? I know I'm not on TikTok, but do you want to do like a duet for the reels? Do you want to dance?
Oh, you try to do it? Do it? I think it's not that bad to learn it, right? It should.
I think we could.
I think we could too. It seems like if you just watch it just enough, I just know it goes down.
So we'll do the dance, and then I'll edit it together so that we could be side by side. Then it would focus on you, then focus on me. I think we can do,
I like that.
Yeah.
We're saying our appreciation for Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Spreading the peace through dance.
Peace, spreading peace, people. Peace. All right. Peace. You dirty. Get your minds out of the gutter. Spraying that peace all over.
Oh. I like it.
Oh, man. Make it rain golden peace, Derek.
Yes, golden peace. Golden peace.
We're gonna get in trouble. Francis was saying we need a QS Multiverse of Madness. I think with all the content that we had to scratch and content that we're bringing back, I think there's something there. I think there's something we could tie it all in together. Back in 2020, we did this and never put it out. I think there's something there.
Yeah, for sure, man. I 100% agree.
Legumes. Gotta give pieces a chance.
There you go.
Gotta give pieces
legumes.
Oh man, but yeah, Derek, dude. I'm hooked on Pokemon Sword right now.
Yeah. Keep grinding, man. Did you get the legendaries already or not yet?
No, so I'm just in the second town. I did my first gym challenge, which was really fun. You had to herd sheep towards gates and stuff, which was really cool.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
And then I got Mew from the Pokeball Plus, and Mew is broken. Mew is destroying everything. I didn't realize how strong Mew would be.
Mew is strong, man. It's wild. It's because it's like I think he's like he's pretty beefy. Like she has a good move pool too, and just it's nice.
And then,
Not a lot of like dark ghost types you fight to that early. I don't think so.
yeah.
It's nice. So there's
And
that.
what's interesting is they have that whole move tutor mechanic. So like you could just keep like if you forget it, you could just like rotate your move set, sort of like in Arceus, and like just boot up TMs for the specific fights, and it's just like
it's great, dude.
Broken in a good way.
Broken indeed, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying it. Oh my gosh. Is there something we could still do together in Pokemon? Like whether it's Sword and Shield, like is there something we could do like Dynamax?
I wish there was like I wish like I was hoping in Arceus like we would be able to meet up somehow, but maybe they'll do that. That'd be so cool to like just like walk around together and stuff. Or
that might be what we'll find out later tonight or
yes.
in the morning for you. You know, let's see.
Yes.
Oh man. Oh, Francis is he's still waiting for that Ghostbusters review. Okay, so here's the thing.
Ooh, I'll watch it too. Is it I think it's on HBO, so me and Chloe could probably watch it and we can eventually do it. Yeah, I'll be down, man.
And then there's a Ghostbusters game, Derek, that me and DZ tried to review before, but we lost the footage and all of that stuff. I think.
Oh no.
I think you, me and you, me and DZ. I think we could team up for a fun. Like there's something I always had in my head where. It was a way to review a single player game, and I think Ghostbusters is a good way to do it because you know the Ghostbusters, you know they're a team of 4, but you know like you can cross the streams. There's 4 of them always, but there's always a theme I had in my head that I wanted to try, and Francis is kind of getting me excited to give it a go. Oh, Francis, I think that was 2018. I think we.
Was it longer than 2020?
Yeah. Oh man, that's one of the oldest pieces of content that I
mean, I have the jacket. You know, I could just wear it.
Do you have?
Remember, I was a Ghostbuster for one of our Halloween specials. Yeah, I have the vest. I just took the Velcro off and like sticky note wrote Sensei on the name.
I think I want one too, and then we could do the review in jumpsuits. I don't have a proton pack though.
I have one, but like I wouldn't be able to sit straight. Actually, now that I have a standing desk, though, I could blow it.
Okay, I might figure out how to 3D print the parts, and we'll figure it out. But
a blast from the past with Chris Stalin.
Yes,
I like it.
Derek, for our new intro.
Yes.
I'll send you that peg I was talking about. So you can have Umbreon show up.
Yes.
Would you have time to record that in the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, send me the peg and I'll get it right on it, man. Hell yeah.
Yes. Okay. And did you figure out your Pokeball situation? Like,
I do have that thing, and it does clip. So
okay, perfect.
And it does look like half the size of a ball, but I think if it's just faced outwards, it will look like it's on my clip. So like it would look good. It will look like it's on my waist or something like that. So
yeah. Yeah, man, I'm so excited because I want this new intro to look bomb.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome, dude. I'm excited.
Like just playing around with like Francis. Like I've been playing around with like what are the programs like Unreal. I've been playing around with like After Effects and Adobe Premiere, and like there's new intro. Oh man.
I'm excited.
Okay, I wanted to mention this, Derek. So one thing these shows like Peacemaker have inspired me to do is like I eventually want to do like a show that I'm super passionate about, or like make do a project. Like, you know how James Gunn it took him decades to get to the point where he made Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm hoping one day, man, I could do like the Extreme Ghostbusters live action. Or do a movie in the Pokemon cinematic universe. Same as Detective Pikachu, because I watched Detective Pikachu again.
Right.
Which you and I have to eventually do the break scene by scene stuff on. But I was like, if they have all these assets, all these Pokemon already ready and you know ready to be put in a movie, like you just need like a story that ends up like the Iron Man of that universe, and you know have more stuff out there, because like it's so rich. The Pokemon universe is so rich to play around with.
It is very rich.
Because Marvel proved you don't need something bloody and all that stuff. You could play within the rules of these worlds.
Yeah,
you know? You could play
100%.
in the world of Pokemon without having to get too grim and be like, oh, what happens when your Pokemon die? Like, you don't have to worry about that. Just give us like a detective story in that world. Give us a heist movie in this world. Like, I want to play around with that. So that's on my bucket
I'm
list.
excited for that, man.
That's on my bucket list of like, eventually I want to make a Pokemon movie in that style. Yeah. So
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Skirto. Yeah, Skirto, you're not unfamiliar with the Unreals, right? It's fun. It's fun.
This dude Skirtle stuff is pretty freaking crazy too. I remember seeing his stuff. It's wild, dude. Your animation's really good.
It's really fun.
Good. It's really good.
Skirto, I know Avatar Studios is looking for storyboard artists that are familiar with, I think it was Maya or Blender, because that's how they want to do their storyboards. So you know.
Yeah, I know.
Get that portfolio in there, sir.
Hell yeah.
All right, Derek.
All right, man.
It's been a good stream.
It has been indeed.
I love you.
Love you too, man.
Guys, we're going to end it here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Me and Derek are going to get some rest and get ready for Pokemon Direct later tonight and in the morning.
Yes.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
I love you guys.